the block, hit the gas, hit the gas. Homies spin the block, hit the gas, hit the gas. Spin the block, hit the gas, hit the gas. Homies spin the block, hit the gas, hit the gas. Homies spin the block, hit the gas, hit the gas. the gas, hit the gas.
Welcome, everyone.
Good
Welcome to stream.
morning.
How is everyone doing? You guys all know me. I'm Hoffman. I'm a regular around here. I'm joined today by Prisha. Why don't you introduce
Yeah,
yourself?
so I am a little bit of a newer face, but luckily I have a great Hoffman next to me to lead. This is my very, very first stream. So, take it easy on me, but we have a lot of great things to go through today. Specifically on what product are we covering today, Hoffman?
The Gallion 100 SD, one of our
Yeah.
recent product launches. Why don't you
Yep.
grab the box over there and show it off?
So, I'll give you guys a little spoiler. This is actually one of the products that we will be sending out as our giveaway. So how many giveaways do we have? God, I think there's a lot of
We
giveaways
have
this week.
4 giveaways today. Yeah, we are loaded.
So I
Gallion
won't.
100 SD. Before we dive really deep into that, though, why don't we hear how chat is doing? How's everyone doing today on this Friday? How have your weeks been? What do you got going on the weekend? I
Yeah.
saw a lot of familiar faces in here already. Care, how you doing, Care? Yudi, I think I saw Striking Earth, Zinc, Mr. Menace.
Oh. They
How's
said
everyone
don't take it
doing?
easy on me, but Hoffman though, I don't know.
No,
Looks
I'm
like chat's gonna go rough on you, right?
I'm ready for it. 42C. Oh my gosh, is that someone in the UK sweltering over there?
God, what is the conversion of Fahrenheit? I am so out of the loop. I do not know the math, but
That's over 100. That's
dang,
that's
yeah.
uncomfortable.
Stay cool.
Yeah. Oh, I've been banned. What? Chance, what are you doing?
What's he done?
Oh, come on. I accept it.
Exclamation ban Hoffman. How do you feel about that, Hoffman?
No, instead of typing that into the chat, type exclamation giveaway for some more
Oh my
information on how to enter our
goodness.
giveaways.
Why are you saying ban me? Guys, this is my first time. I can't be banned yet.
It's inevitable. It always happens.
But anyways, I'm glad to see everyone doing so well. So Hoffman, why don't I kick it over to you to talk about, what is this stream all about? I know this is something new that we've just begun doing.
Yeah. Yeah, we're doing kind of a whole feature deep dive into the Gallion 100 SD.
ASMR.
Full-size keyboard with an integrated Stream Deck. And so we'll have kind of a little bit of like the origin story of it, kind of diving into the inspiration, the development process, hurdles that were overcome with all of that. We have some demo segments coming up, talking about kind of the general, just like getting started setup, all the way into setting up for a game, setting up for streaming, productivity, kind of all different aspects.
Yep.
And then, yeah.
Yep. So I'm going to put this away because this is one of them being sent out right to your doorstep. So if you do want to win, how do they enter the giveaway?
Exclamation giveaway in the chat. Oh my
But-
gosh. Wait, okay. Prisha gets a praise, Prisha?
What does that mean, guys? This
Command?
is my first time. What is a praise for Prisha?
That's a good thing. That means people
Is there like a...
people are sending some kudos your way.
Oh, thank you,
Yeah.
guys.
The custom command is, oh, is there a praise Hoffman? No, that one's probably just
It'll come in. It'll come in.
Van Hoffman, praise Prisha. You got it right, guys.
Look at the duality. Okay, so I don't know how many of you guys tuned into our Prime Day stream, but we're not going to be talking too much about the Amazon Prime Day, but we do want to remind you guys what is going on this week from June 23rd to 26th.
Prime Day.
There are
All
some
sorts of deals
amazing deals.
on Amazon.
Yes.
We went over it in the stream the other day.
Mhm.
I forget. There's a Saber on sale.
Yes, there's a
what was
Void
the other one?
V2. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I was looking myself and, I might have to cop myself a pair too because the discount is amazing.
That's an insane
Yeah.
discount,
Yeah.
and they are some of the best headphones that I've ever used.
Yeah, they're lightweight.
They're great.
the
They're
battery
so
life.
comfy, and the battery life.
Yeah.
I sometimes forget to charge them because I don't even know the last time I charged them.
Oh my goodness.
It's so good. Yeah.
Good advertisement.
Yeah.
Really good.
Yeah.
Okay. But a little bit about this. You're probably wondering, can I get the Galleon on Amazon? And the answer is unfortunately no, but that doesn't mean there aren't any discounts for Gallion. We will be walking you guys through a little bit later on exactly where to find the deal for Gallion, but I'll give you guys a sneak peek. If you guys are looking for a new mouse and a new keyboard, your whole setup, you can get the Galleon 100 SD paired with the Sabre V2 Pro Ultralight Wireless, which is an amazing mouse, super lightweight.
Incredibly light.
And where can you get that, Hoffman?
Corsair.com.
Corsair.com. Search up Gallion. Once again, we will show you guys where to find that a little bit later.
Yep.
But, in case you want to follow along, take a look at the product page while we talk. Go ahead and send yourself over there. You can do the chat command !Gallion, and you will be launched into the website for that.
Yep. !Gallion, !giveaway, and !praise Praisha. Those are your top 3 for today.
Wow, I love that chat command. So before we kick it off to the next segment, I think, Hoffman, you brought in something really special. Where did you come in from?
I flew in from Milwaukee today to be here at HQ. So I brought with, as you do when you travel, you got to bring a keyboard. Remember that?
As always.
I brought my personal Gallion, which I have outfitted with Holy Panda X switches and the DCD Walkman keycap set from Drop.
Yeah,
kind of just wanted to bring that in to highlight and kind of show off all the customization options with the keyboard. We'll go into a lot of like the software customization and the versatility there. And of course, we advertise all of our keyboards as having, hot swap if applicable, and the fact you can swap things around and customize them. But I really just wanted to show that off in person and kind of give an overview of what you can do with your keyboard too.
Yeah, so the base Gallion doesn't come with these insanely cool keycaps and the switches, but I don't know, Hoffman, do you want to show them, exactly what's in there before we ask the chat more questions?
Yeah, it does come with a handy switch and keycap removal tool.
Yes, that is included in the box. You do not have to buy it separately.
Pop them off and then show off the nice Holy Panda X clear switches.
Yeah, so I don't know. Do we want to do a little ASMR? Will the mic pick that up, chat?
Sure, go for it, yeah.
Okay, ready? I'll let you do it. God, this is his keyboard, and I'm like touching it all. Chat, do you guys hear that?
Closer.
God, I don't know. Let us know, chat, in the comments. Do you hear that? If not, I don't know. It's a really nice noise for me, and I wish you guys could hear it. So, yeah, amazing switches. And what switches were those again, in case I want to add my own?
They're lubed Holy Panda X.
Lubed Holy Panda X switches. So
swapped out for some tactile switches myself.
Oh, yeah, because I don't know. What type of keyboard do you prefer?
I like tactile. Yeah. But the ones that ship in here, the MLX Pulse, are fantastic if you're into linears.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you some questions really quick about the product because, I know you have firsthand experience with the product a little bit more than I do. But, if you could describe this product maybe like in one sentence for, let's say, a gamer, since I know you're big on gaming, what would you say would be the highlight of the product for you?
Well, really just the fact that it merges the two ecosystems, the Corsair keyboard side and the Stream Deck side. I mean, that's the whole pitch of it. That's kind of the whole product positioning. And it does a fantastic job of that, of kind of getting everything into one device. You don't have to reach as far if you've got your Stream Deck off to the side. That's really great for streaming and general use and even productivity. But for gaming, it is a little bit nicer to have it just like right there connected to the keyboard, so you don't even have to worry.
Yeah, so I think someone in the chat asked, Timmy024 asked, is it hot swappable with 3 and 5 pin switches?
Indeed, yes. It is 5-pin compatible. Yep.
No K100 in the poll. I'm assuming we have a poll running right now.
What is the poll?
What is the poll? Drop it in chat if you guys can tell us, because we can't see it, but our lovely moderators and production in the back are running the polls for you guys. I'm assuming it's, what is your favorite keyboard? Oh my gosh.
Gotta be.
We got it.
No K100, no K55. Oh, I'm so sorry.
I don't know, guys. You guys tell me, because we can't see the polls. What is your favorite keyboard from Corsair so far?
Okay. In response, we have banned Chan's. Perfect. Good.
60 times?
Yeah, she gets banned every once in a while. It's fine.
So let's see.
What's your favorite keyboard?
Gosh, my favorite keyboard, I would say I have the K65 Plus. That is my Corsair work keyboard, and I have it in white. And I think my favorite thing about that would be the dial. I know a lot of keyboards these days, we do have the dial. Oh, I see a Rainy 75. I have that for my at-home use. I have the blue and purple colorway. And yeah, I'm a big creamy keyboard fan, so God, that is amazing. But it is a little loud, and I don't want to disrupt my coworkers at work, so I do keep that keyboard at home. Bob
Yeah.
has been banned.
Blamed. Blame
Blamed.
Bob. Blame Bob is an inside joke in the
Oh my
channel.
goodness, what does that
Uh,
mean?
just anytime anything goes wrong, we blame Bob. He historically has been responsible for a lot of
Mm-hmm.
shenanigans on the channel, so
Oh wow,
he's
production. Yeah, we
been
have a
blamed
question for you.
92 times.
What keyboard does production use?
Ooh, good question. What are you guys
Do
rocking
you guys
back
want to
there?
guess? I think I know. It is starts with an M and ends with a 5. Could it be Maker 75?
Oh, Maker 75.
Yeah, so as you know, that is an amazing keyboard. You can completely customize everything on it, including adding your own LCD screens or opting for that dial, which I really like. So
Yeah.
this stream isn't about that keyboard today, but if you guys are big fans of that keyboard, we can definitely do something like that in the future. Am I
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be good to go over probably the regular one and the Pro, maybe in like a dual stream.
Yeah. So, question for you guys and for you, Hoffman. Feel free to answer this.
Yeah.
What are you guys most excited to learn today, right? I want you guys to drop your questions in the chat so we can answer them later on, specifically for the Galleon 100. Although we welcome questions about anything, we'll try our best to answer all of those. But do you guys have questions about maybe the Galleon, what kind of macros you guys can add? Yeah, we'll be answering those in the chat. So go ahead and drop them in. And for those of you who have used the Galleon before, how do you like it? Maybe share your favorite feature with us and we'll call you out.
Yeah. Is our favorite Galleon hype man in chat? Cass, are you there? I haven't
You guys
seen
have
you
a
yet.
Galleon hype man?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I want to see you.
He-
Yeah.
He picked up a Galleon while we were streaming one day and was sharing all of his experiences with it. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, if anybody has any questions, let us know.
Yeah. I see a question. How easy is it to clean and how do you clean it?
Oh, just as easy as any other keyboard. Yeah. If you pop off typically if you pop off all the keycaps, then you can get in there with either compressed air or something else to blow out kind of, on top of the plate and within the keyboard.
Mhm.
If you spill something into it and have to like do a full tear down to clean it up, that's obviously a lot more complicated.
Mhm.
And that's going to be similar to any other mechanical keyboard where you'll have to really kind of remove all the switches, get in there and clean everything out. But that's
Yeah.
kind of the exception.
And I might get flamed for this, but do you recommend using like a keyboard slime gel to pick up the dust and lint?
I've never used that before. That seems like it would work really well.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. I haven't used that before though.
Okay, and we have a few more questions. Does Galleon 100 have any widgets plugins like Xeneon from Sean? Xeneon, like
Yes.
Xeneon Edge.
Yeah, it does. So Galleon doesn't integrate with iQ, so it doesn't have that level of widget or like that side of the world of widgets. But you can add widgets and other parameters in the Stream Deck software, which we'll get into a little bit later.
Yeah, and one more question. Programming macros on the fly instead of having to go through the software is always on the top of my list. Sorry, that was not a
Ah,
question,
No,
but
but it's a
that was a
good
praise.
it's a good point of feedback. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Apple Knees. Let's see. Oh, someone bought their K100 right before the announcement of the Galleon, sadly enough. So,
Oh,
yeah, there is a discount going on. And with that, you can get half off of your Saber or whatever half off you want to discount it from. So, it's always better to have multiple keyboards. I myself have a little keyboard stand to show all the keyboards that I've collected over the years. So, no harm, no foul in buying an extra one. You can swap it off for maybe when you're gaming, you might be using the Galleon.
yeah.
Maybe when you're doing work, the K100 might be more ideal for you. Really, yeah, there's no limit to how many number of keyboards you can have. Am I right?
Yes. Oh, I know that all too well. Yeah. Yeah. I have a closet for my keyboards. It's
You have a
problem.
closet?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you, everyone. I'm going to talk about the giveaway again really quickly because that is coming up in our next segment. So for those that just joined, we are having 4 giveaways. We are raffling off, 2 Galleon 100 SD keyboards,
Yep.
1 Stream Deck MK2 for my creators and big fans of Elgato out there, and what else was the other one? Was it a Vanguard
Air 99 wireless. Right?
wireless
Yeah.
in white? So for my people that like white, we got you included as well.
Yes. And if you like low profile, optical,
Yes.
wireless, it's got everything.
Perfect for work. Yep.
Yep.
All of that.
Yeah.
So,
So with that, I think we're ready to. We'll cut to a break, and then we'll come back
Yep.
with Julian to talk a little bit about
Yep.
the keyboard itself.
And stay tuned, guys. We do have a giveaway in that segment. And as
Yes.
always, you
You
have
need
to
to be
be in
present.
chat active to claim your giveaway, or else
Yep.
it does get re-rolled, which we don't want that to happen, right?
Yeah. Exclamation giveaway in chat.
Yep.
Exclamation Gallion. Exclamation praise ya.
I love that. All right. We will see you soon in a few minutes. So see you guys and be right back.
All my homies spin the block, hit the gas, hit the gas. All my homies spin the block, hit the gas, hit the gas.
And welcome back. We're here joined by Julian. Introduce yourself.
Hi. Hi, everyone. I am the senior manager here for go-to-market and campaigns for our gaming products. And yeah, happy to be here.
Thanks for joining us. Yeah. So before we get into that, I did notice that Kes joined the stream. Hi, Kes. Thank you for your wonderful insight into the quality of the stream and your future comments that I'm sure you'll give. So with that, you wanted to talk a little bit about kind of the history, the positioning of the Gallion
Yeah,
100
I
SD?
can definitely talk a little bit about that. I know you touched upon it earlier here, but something that was really big that we wanted to acknowledge was, this is something that people have asked for over the years. They wanted like a high performance gaming keyboard, but they wanted a versatility of a Stream Deck. And it really makes sense, right? Corsair, Elgato, we're kind of like within the same family of brands. Why don't we
Yeah.
just make one? So it really took us a long time to get here, but now we do have it. So it's really nice because we still have Corsair, right? The quality and gaming performance that you can expect.
Absolutely.
That gaming engine behind Gallion, and then you bring in that extra advanced layer and possibility through the Stream Deck. So we really wanted to focus on giving gamers more things to do with it beyond a basic input, and that's kind of where Gallion started, right? Is gaming needs are growing, what gamers want, and the things they play is always growing. So we wanted our peripherals to grow with them. And you can see that not just within Gallion, there's a bunch of different Stream Deck integrated products that we've released, like the Scimitar Elite Wireless. We have even our Vanguard series have more integration with Stream Deck. And even recently we announced their Computex Night Sword V2 Wireless. So so many things that are coming out, and yeah.
Yeah. So could you move your mic a little bit closer? And,
Yeah, I can definitely do that. Sorry, everyone.
having some audio problems. Yeah. So would you say that kind of the progression of products to get to this point was almost an intentional like strategy to learn and kind of develop that ecosystem over time?
Yeah, it's definitely something that is very intentional within our roadmap. You
Hmm.
know, right now you see that we have Corsair has such a wide range of products to address so many different needs. We have more of our like entry level. If you're just starting out, we have a great line available for that. We have our esport, more FPS focused product with the Saber, with Vanguard.
Yep.
And Galleon kind of sits more at the top of our keyboard line, being more of that premium enthusiast, but also giving you that great high performance gaming aspect of it as well. So anything on, we've been looking into building out more of that ecosystem, giving more control and insights to gamers, to streamers,
Hmm.
to content creators who want to really focus on, hey, how can I get more freedom to do more within my experience, but also the control to do it better. So that's kind of like the thought process of how we're building out a lot of our products and just
Yep.
making sure that we empower our community to play, create, perform, just within everything that they want to do in their day-to-day lives.
Yeah, yeah, kind of covering every possible use
Yeah.
aspect of things. And so, where would you say that the Galleon 100 kind of fits? You mentioned it's kind of, it's obviously the more premium one. It has the
Mhm.
Stream Deck integrated. Um, would you say it's angled more for gamers or creators, or kind of does it cover everybody because of that versatility?
Yeah, I would say it's covers a lot of people because of that versatility. That's what makes it so great within the Stream Deck ecosystem, right? You can do it for gaming. So for all like my Final Fantasy folks out there, you can map out all like your macros, your hotkeys, and
Yeah.
other stuff within
Yep.
gaming. But also for content creators and stream, you guys know Stream Deck. You can open OBS, you can pull up your soundboard, all that different stuff. For productivity too is a great thing. You still have your numpad. I've mapped like Photoshop. I've done like Excel like application there. So really, it could do a lot of different things in the game, but also beyond the game. So you can enhance your experience of your daily life. Um, yeah, it could be for a number of people, and that's what makes it so great too. When we're working with creators or working with partners, they kind of show us the wide range of things that they can do. And also, I know Phil will probably talk about this later. Like, that's
Hmm.
why we also have a marketplace. There's so many different
Oh yeah. Yep.
plugins, profiles, and it's community ran too. So, like, people can put up their own
Yeah.
stuff out there and just, let people use it as well.
Yeah, yeah, and the marketplace is
Mhm.
seems like an endless
Yeah.
well to pull from of stuff. Every time I check back, there's always more stuff available there, and I almost need like a notification when there's new profiles added because yeah, I'm always looking for new stuff. But yeah, so in terms of like if because obviously both keyboards and Stream Deck has existed for a little bit now, so some people might already own both devices, or they've kind of got their typical setup already going. um, where do you think the Galleon fits in for people who already have those devices? Is there a place for it, kind of in addition to that, on their desk?
Yeah, I know Prager kind of mentioned this before, but it's never, it doesn't hurt to have more. So, I
Yeah.
mean, it depends on what kind of keyboards you guys have. I know people will have like specific formats, like they want a 60% for FPS. So,
Hmm.
it doesn't really hurt if you guys want an extra keyboard to have more, versatility. For example, maybe you do want it for like the numpad. You don't have a full size keyboard, but you still want to be able to swap things and expand things for like Excel, Photoshop, or even just content creation without having to also just reach for another. Some people even just get the really big Stream Deck XL because they just have a lot of like content production they have to do.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
definitely for people who wants more Stream Deck, depending on what kind of products you guys have, what kind of keyboard, I would say it does fit. Do
Yeah.
you need it? That's up to you guys to define. Is it nice to have? Yeah,
Oh yeah.
it's nice to have.
Yeah. 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 I've
Um,
noticed myself. I already, I have a Stream Deck Plus in my setup, and adding the Galleon to it just gives you. I mean, it's more buttons. I saw a couple of comments. People are saying
yeah,
like you can always use more buttons, and
more
yeah,
is
that's
better.
that's always true. But even just having them a little closer to you, the proximity of it all, like
Hmm.
yeah, having is basically giving you more optionality and more just more features and more ways to interact with the devices,
Yeah,
right?
definitely. And if you guys don't have one or like a Stream Deck keyboard, it is
Hmm.
great. Kind of like think of it for like you get more bang for your buck. Like
Yeah.
the value of
Yeah.
buying this separately and a Stream Deck, you do save off a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. Benefits of combining them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, OMG, I would get a keyboard with a numpad and SD attached if it was an option. Yeah, well, and these are things, this type of feedback, yeah, about potential future developments and future iterations down the line is always good to hear because we like to hear what people are interested in. So please keep that coming. And yeah, that's something kind of in the realm of what we're exploring for the future, right? Just kind of adding more optionality, more features with it. Yep. Yeah. Um, so was there anything else you wanted to talk about with the kind of overview of the product and the positioning?
Yeah, I mean, I think we covered a lot of it already. So I don't really have anything else unless there's
Okay.
any community questions that I can
Yeah,
answer.
yeah, yeah. Hit us up with questions. Julian is the right person to help answer them, so please let us know. And in just a little bit here, we'll be drawing our first giveaway for the Galleon 100 SD. So please be sure to enter for that exclamation giveaway in the chat. That'll send a link to fill out the form and get you entered in for all four. It's kind of a pooled entry for all four of them.
Yeah, I think I saw a question. I don't know if we want to answer it. I think someone asked like, how did we come up with Gallion within the name?
Oh,
Yeah, I
yeah.
don't know if you guys have noticed, but our naming is boat themed.
We like boats.
We
Yeah,
like boats.
yeah. The bigger the boat is kind of where it ranks in the lineup of the keyboards. So yeah, the Galleon being this big. I don't know boats very well, but a Galleon is a big
Yeah.
boat, and so it's going to be kind of the premium high end keyboard with all these extra integrations built into it. Yeah.
And for the folks who don't know, our logo is a ship. So
Yeah. Oh yeah. We're very pirate themed here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. We're all excited for the Black Flag. You know, what's it called?
Black Pearl? What?
No, the Black Flag. They're re-releasing that game,
Oh, right,
Assassin's Creed. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're all
Assassin's Creed,
pirate
so-
themed. Yeah. But yeah, so make sure to enter for the giveaway, and we'll be pulling that in probably just a few minutes here, right?
Yeah.
All right. Any other questions in the meantime? Yar, yeah. Forsen, we'll try to rig it for you. We'll try to pick you for it. I think we're probably at the point, Lucky, if you want to kind of get ready, tee up the giveaway. We'll give people another minute or two to enter. Exclamation, I'm the captain now. Yeah, that would be a good one to incorporate. Are we gonna do a sea chanty sing-along stream? Oof, I don't know about that. Maybe Lucky could lead that. I would join in. Where's the buried treasure? There's got to be buried treasure somewhere in the office, right?
Gotta be.
Oh, Chancelin, I'll do a channel redemption to be captain for an hour. Let's make the puppos captain for an hour. The treasure was the friends we made along the way. Thanks for that, Vince. What's the first prize? The first prize is a Galleon 100 SD. Do you want to grab it off the shelf there and show it off?
Grab it.
Yeah, this one right here. Galleon 100 SD for our first giveaway prize. Ready for the first winner chance? Yes, I think we are. Let's get that going. A little bit of a drum roll. And remember, you do have to be present in chat to claim it. So hopefully you are, and we don't have to re-roll. Oh, Striking Earth. I saw you earlier, Striking Earth. I believe you're still here.
Claim
Congrats,
your
Striking
prize.
Earth. Are you still here? Yay, you are here.
Oh, they are?
Yeah. Awesome. Well, congratulations. All right, this exact unit here, we'll get that shipped out to you very soon. We'll be in touch to get your contact info. Congratulations. And good luck to everyone else in the future draws. We will be doing 3 more giveaways throughout the course of stream today. Exclamation giveaway in chat to enter. Again, you have to be present to win, but we'll be giving away next a Stream Deck Mark II, then a Vanguard Air 99 wireless, and then another Galleon 100 SD at the end. And with that, I think we're ready to cut and then transition over to a bit of an interview segment with Prasha back.
Awesome.
homies spin the block, hit the gas, hit the gas. All my homies spin the block, hit the gas, hit the gas.
Surprise! I am back, but unfortunately for the next segment, Hoffman will be leaving us, but we do have a few minutes to talk about things, and I know we have something really cool to show. I know earlier we mentioned that the Galleon 100 SD and the Saber, they're going on sale. So, while we have some time, praise Presha, yes, I'm going to have Hoffman walk us through exactly how you can find this deal. And maybe if we have extra time, we can show, let's take a look together at what Amazon Prime Day deals we do have coming from Corsair outside of the Galleon.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
So
You guys can see our screen.
pulling up the store here with, I've pulled it up to the bundle, but if you need help finding it, search on the store. And I'm typing on the Galleon 100 SD right here.
I know.
But we have all sorts of bundles with different products here when you search for Galleon. And the bundle with the Saber V2 Pro is the one that we're after today.
Mhm.
So yeah, you can see here, it's $50 off,
Yep.
which, as you mentioned before, that's essentially half the price of the mouse. So
Yep.
nice little bundle there if you're looking to get into it and either need a new mouse or want to check out this mouse here. Yeah. So
I'm
Do we-
mistaken. I thought we had the mouse.
well, there's one in
Oh
the
God,
box down
I
there.
see one down there. You
but-
know what? I'm gonna go off screen really quick, and
gonna-
I'm gonna grab the mouse to see what you could be getting with the keyboard.
Gonna
So,
go to
one
Vince's
sec.
storeroom. Take the elevator down.
Oh my God. So
Ooh.
with this, we do have a black and a white version. So I know I'm a little small p in the corner, but what is so cool about this mouse? I don't know. What do you think, Hoffman?
I love the material of this mouse. This is the mouse that I daily drive. It's light. It's not quite as light as the ultralight plastic version, but it's still only 55, 56 grams. And it being magnesium is, it's a metal alloy, so it kind of like wicks some of the heat away from your hand. It's like a self-cooling. It's really nice. It just feels so premium. And yeah. And this
Yeah.
one has tri-mode as well. This is
Mhm.
Bluetooth in addition to 2.4G.
Yeah, we know
So-
that's really helpful when you want to connect to different things.
Yeah.
So, someone said that they have the Galleon already. So, why don't we head on over to the Amazon Prime and see, if you have the Galleon, maybe you're looking to complete more of your setup. God, would we get a headset? Would we get a mice? Are we looking to, rebuild our PC? Let's see what amazing deals we have. Wow.
Here's the one we already touched on, the Void V2 wireless. $70 down from $130. I mean, that's fantastic.
Yeah. And I know we launched one of my favorite colorways of that. Was it pink and white for the Void V2? I know that's my favorite.
Yeah, you like that
Yeah.
one?
Do we know
Yeah.
if that one's on sale? Can we check?
Let's see. That's gonna be one of these colors, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Oh,
the
there's
white
an all white one, which is beautiful.
Yeah, they are all on sale. The pink and white. This is the one. This
Yeah.
is the one you like.
So
Yeah.
at Corsair here, we don't do pink tax. So if you guys know what pink tax is, you guys know that's very serious. So many companies, they'll mark up pink color just to, I don't know why they do that, but we're
It's
honest
crazy.
here.
Yeah.
We don't do that.
Nope. You can get the pink one. You can get dual tone. This is kind of another fun
Wow.
one.
Yeah.
Mixing both of the black and the white one. Yeah. I run just the black, but yeah, lots of good colors here.
Wow. And besides the headset, What else do we have? Oh my goodness. We have the Scimitar RGB.
Elite wired. There's some PSUs. Here we go. The Scimitar Elite Wireless SE. This is another one that's good to highlight. This is, so when we were talking earlier about kind of the whole ecosystem, incorporating Elgato products into the Corsair products, this is kind of another poster child for that.
We have the box
Really,
right here.
yeah, it's got the 12 side buttons that can all be customized within the Stream Deck software to give you kind of the complete customization there. You can either customize those in WebHub and iQ or in Stream Deck. So whether you're kind of going the productivity angle, the streaming angle, or maybe it's for the gaming side of things too. Like this is great for MMOs, anything where you want those macros and key combos like right available at your fingertips.
Yeah.
So,
and the great thing is I feel like it goes right alongside with the Gallion. So, if you find that your Gallion, just for some reason doesn't have enough of the extra macro keys and you're like, I want something that I can click right when I'm gaming with my right hand or the left hand, whichever you use to play. And this bad boy right here is the perfect find for you.
Yeah. If you've been thinking to yourself that you need more buttons, more macros, more shortcuts, this is the one. Marquar using the Scimitar Elite right now. Awesome. So yeah, this is a good one. And what is this? 50% off.
Oh my God.
I mean,
you can't find a deal better than that, really. I mean,
Yeah.
Prime Day, we really bring out our craziest deals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the poll that we have active now? Oh, what would you use your macros for? Yeah, let us know in the poll.
Yeah, I don't know. For me, I would use my macros to, God, honestly, really simple for me. I'm a simple girl. I don't game too much, a little casual game here and there, but I would use it to open out to my favorite DoorDash order. Yeah, so, it's a one press button. I want everything loaded in my cart, ready to go. God, I don't know if we're able to, even have a button that automatically puts in the order for me without having to, feel the pain of having my credit card clicked.
That would be next level.
As we know.
Yeah, Janslin, pro gamer strats. Yeah, speedrun the order. Get all the commands to ban people here. There you go.
Ban Hoffman.
Now you're talking.
Ban Hoffman, praise Praisha.
Press 1 to ban chat.
Oh my goodness.
Can we ban Praisha? Yeah, good question. Maybe
saying
we need
that?
to add that in.
Pretty sure Chance already has this for her Poke Bowl.
Yeah.
What do you get in your Poke Bowl? I'm a big salmon and tuna fan. I'm pretty basic. God.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to come clean. I don't think I've ever had Poke Bowl.
No.
Yeah. It sounds delicious. I'm sure I would love it.
Are you a fan of raw
really had it.
fish?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you haven't had Poke Bowl?
No.
I guess they don't have that in Wisconsin.
It might be. Or I gotta know the places to go for it. But yeah, I love like sushi with raw fish. I do love.
Yeah.
That's my move usually.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Just last night we had dinner and we had this all-you-can-eat hot pot, and that was really cool. Yeah, it is just a deconstructed sushi.
I mean, hey, that sounds right up my alley. Yeah.
But I think the cool thing with the Poke Bowl is you don't have to just get rice. If you're trying to cut rice out of your diet, you can. God, I've seen Poke chips, Poke nachos, Poke salad.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah. So a little bit more about the Gallion. I think I'm gonna ask the chat who here has used the Gallion, and maybe let's share some macros that we've put on our own. We've put on our own keyboard.
Yeah. Well, to answer myself for that, one of my favorite things I did with the Gallion was set up. So within the Stream Deck software, you can there's a plugin for Home Assistant, the self-hosted smart home system that I use in my house, and you can have a button on your keyboard interact with the scenes from that smart home system. And
really,
so like I
have never heard of that. No.
Yeah, I push buttons to like dim all the lights in my room or turn on just the ones I want for stream or whatever. Like it's so useful to have that available to me.
Can you make one that like automatically at your 5 p.m. it goes off and it goes like, celebration, your workday is done. So
done with workday. Yeah. No, I can't do that, but it would
Maybe
yeah.
one day.
I'll make one that like maybe does some like some firework, animations or something. But yeah.
Wow. Someone was using theirs to macro Minecraft Bed Wars.
I don't know what that means.
That is
What
like,
is that?
I would say it's like a type of Minecraft multiplayer game where
Oh.
you literally, in simple terms, you defend your bed.
Okay.
Yeah, and the opposing teams, they have to come and they have to try to take down the bed. And if you do,
Is
then
this
you
like
lose.
capture the flag? How is this different from?
God,
Like,
I would
what's-
say it is kind of like Capture the Flag.
Okay.
Yeah, for
okay.
all my Minecraft lovers out there, I am one with you. I love Minecraft, so we can chat all day about Minecraft.
Okay.
But let's see. Oh no, it went too fast.
Yeah.
Someone said,
the one scrolled off about teams.
all right, yeah, someone said that they use their Gallion keyboards. So I think that really shows that it's very versatile. It's not just for gaming. It's not just for the streamers out there. It's for people every day, coming into work, using Outlook, maybe doing certain features on Teams, like maybe mute, you never want to be talking while someone else is talking on
Yeah.
Teams.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I know that's a really big thing for us here, yeah.
Yeah.
So let's hear more. What have you guys been using for your Galleon so far? And yes, I saw someone said, they'll find their macros if they win one. And I do want to remind everyone, what do we have? We do have one more going up soon.
Yeah.
At the very end of
At
our
the end
stream.
of stream, you'll have to stick around for that
But
one.
we are
But yeah.
raffling off a stream deck. So, I would say a little bit similar to the Galleon minus the keyboard, but I
Yeah.
trust Phil will talk a little bit more about how the stream deck, really differs from the Galleon and, what pros and cons you might be getting with if you buy a stream deck or if you buy a Galleon,
Yeah.
All right, we have one more question before we end off. What do the stream deck buttons on the Galleon feel like to depress? Is it a mechanical switch feeling like the other keys? Oh, and we do have Phil coming up soon. I actually
Yeah.
see him right
Phil-
now. So
Phil just walked in. Phil will be joining us soon. Don't worry.
yeah, I feel like that
Um,
is a perfect question for Phil, unless you want to answer that.
Yeah, Phil. We can leave a cliffhanger. Yeah. Yeah. Phil will answer that one when he comes on.
Yeah, so I'm sorry if I'm reading that wrong. H. Hetson, please ask that question in approximately 2 minutes because, we will forget and there's so many of you guys in the chat. So please keep asking us questions. We love questions. We love interacting with you guys. But Phil is here, so we are going to transition out. So we'll see you very shortly and I will be joined by Phil. So say goodbye to Hoffman for now. But we do have Phil from Elgato
Bye.
joining us. So we'll see you very soon.
I'll be back.
All my homies spin the block, hit the gas, hit the gas.
All right, a sweet but short little break. And now I have with me a very, very special guest from...
Elgato. Hey, everyone. I'm Phil. I am on the technical marketing team over at Elgato. If you've tuned into one of our live streams, you might have seen me there. I was actually just there. Literally, I just walked over. We have 2 studios going right now. We have 2 streams. One is our Elgato Prime Day one, and then, of course, we have this one here talking all about Gallion. So I literally walked over. Yeah, excited to be here. Excited to talk Gallion,
Thank you,
Stream
Phil.
Deck, and gaming and everything else.
Yeah, Phil did just teleport. Yes, exclamation point, praise Phil. So originally we were going to have Julian Fest come on
Yes.
stream, but unfortunately, we still have Phil, and he is just as great.
Well, Julian has the sharper looks, that's for sure. But I hope I'll do an okay job standing in for him.
Yeah, okay. So really quickly, before we dive into the questions, we do have a question from Actaeon. I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong. We were told we did hand this question off to you because you are the man, but what do the Stream Deck buttons do on the Gallion? Like, how do they feel to depress? Is it a mechanical switch feeling like the other keys on the keyboard, or is it slightly different?
So right off the bat, no, it's not a mechanical feeling. It's more of a membrane. So if you've ever used a membrane keyboard, then it'll feel a little bit like that. That's because the way the Stream Deck is built, there's a couple layers, right? And so there is a membrane layer underneath those Stream Deck LCD keys, and that's the feeling that you get when you press it. We do have a new type of Stream Deck switch technology called scissor key. That's not available on the Gallion though, but that's something that we have been building out and are looking to use across more products, which would feel a little bit more closer to it. But yeah, so it is going to be more of that membrane feeling.
Yeah. So, God, someone said, Phil is so handsome.
Oh, shucks. Stop it, you guys. Chat, come on.
And how long have you been a
You say that for
magician
everyone.
since you've been teleporting? But nah, he just teleported exactly for our stream. So we really want to thank Phil for coming on board. He has been doing the streams for Elgato. So it's really a pleasure to have Phil on. Ice blue eyes is a requirement for Elgato management team.
I don't have blue eyes though, do I? Or are they? I
would
think they're
say,
more green.
with the
no.
lights coming in, I would say blue and green. But
Okay.
yeah, God, that means I can't be on Elgato because I have brown
gosh.
eyes.
Oh, that's George saying it. Oh, okay. That changes things. But yeah, no. If you guys are, I think that's actually technically the first time I'm on the Corsair live stream. If you're wondering, I've been at Elgato for 13 years now. In fact, I was a creator before joining Elgato. I say had, but I technically still have a YouTube channel. I live stream on Twitch every now and then. But the day job, so to speak, has consumed all of my time. So I spend most of my day working on and being a part of the team that builds these incredible creator tools like Stream Deck, like our Wave mics, and so much more. And yeah, Gallion has been a big part of that lately. We worked on that for a number of years now, and.
Yeah, 30 years ago, I was like 7. Mine is 7.
Oh my god,
that's hilarious. Okay.
Did I say 30? I meant to say 13. 13.
He doesn't
years.
look that
1,
old,
3,
guys.
not 3 0.
Come on. Yeah, he
I
just
thought I said
ages really
13.
well if it was
Yeah.
30. That would be crazy. Okay, well, to launch straight into our questions before we
Yes.
get too derailed, let's see. What do you think the Gallion says about the future of gaming and creator hardware? Where is this really headed?
Well, there's two things. One is workflow related, and one is kind of like personalization, right? So keyboards have been pretty stagnant for ever since kind of their invention, right? A keyboard has always had, like, the technology has evolved. Yes, you have faster actuation, you have different switches, different sounds, and you have little pieces around it that enhance the experience of using a keyboard, but generally a keyboard has stayed the same. However, over time, the games, the workflows, the things we do with the keyboard have evolved, right? Your computer nowadays is much more powerful. You have more apps, you have more things that you're doing. If you're specifically gaming, you might also have music running on the side in Spotify. You're chatting with friends in Discord. You might also be doing a live stream, right? And all of that, all of it
No
basically
way.
at the same time. So building in a Stream Deck right into your keyboard is, I think, just a very natural evolution of this. And it's a really big differentiator. I mean, no other keyboard has this type of power at this point. So that's kind of the first thing there. And the second is around, again, that customization, right? So you can have your keys display information such as the song that's playing, or temperature of your, it could be your liquid coolant temperatures. It could be how much RAM you're currently, using, your game's frame rate, even the weather. There's so many different things that you can put on this device. And so it almost then becomes like a second screen experience that you can customize for yourself. Nowadays, with setups, I mean, Corsair pioneered the RGB, the system
Yes.
to make my setup look like, what I want, if it's either blue or red or rainbow or whatever. And with Stream Deck, it just adds to that even more.
Yeah, so you mentioned a little bit about, displaying like the weather or even the song you're playing. So I think there's something really cool about Galleon is there is actually an LCD screen.
Yep.
So if you're used to your normal Stream Deck Mark II, that doesn't have its own built-in screen, but we do have some other models from Elgato that do. Phil, do you want to share a little bit about maybe the things you can do on the screen, or maybe how does it differ from your basic Stream Deck?
Well, Stream Deck in general, the entire experience, the DNA of Stream Deck is two things. One, it's control, and the other is being able to see information on the keys, right? And the beauty is that they are LCD keys, so they can show you information. It's not just the LCD screen at that point. It's every single key. Of course, the benefit of having a nice big screen is that you can see more information on there, and on the Galleon, it's used for the dials. So you have 4 little quadrants, and I don't know if you've already talked about it, but we'll show it off later as well. We have a awesome gaming demo coming up with Hoffman and myself. Hoffman's going to talk all about games. I'm going to talk a little bit more about some of the stuff that you can do around gaming. But essentially, with that screen, you can see what the dials are controlling, and then on the keys themselves, I mean, what we have set up here, maybe we can get a quick shot of it, but we have things like the CPU usage, we have RAM on here. Like I said, we have weather. And we also have things like a folder here, so I can go into like a gaming profile here. I can go back home, right? All of this is something that I can do right on the device because I can see the information coming at me in real time.
Yeah, as you were talking, I think that was really cool, but I think we missed quite a few questions that are
Oh, I'm
very
sure.
important. So I'm sorry if we don't mention it, if you could comment that again. Can you use the Stream Deck keys as a numpad? I know that is a huge community
Yes.
question.
Yeah, and
Phil is here to
the
answer.
simple answer to that is yes, you can. So because the keys are entirely customizable, not only could they trigger a Discord mute and unmute, but they can also, of course, become a numpad. So I can also show how you would set that up later. It also comes with a built-in numpad there. In fact, I can scroll here, and you'll see, there we go. When I just scroll on the dial here, you can see now I've got a numpad set up, and if I actually, maybe it's easier to see if I hold it up like this a little bit.
Yeah, let us know, guys. Can you
Um,
see Phil's example demo keyboard?
But there we go. So there's a numpad there, and of course, typing it in, it's going to do that. So that's how simple it is. And then I can just, rotating this dial here, I can go back to this home page that I have set up.
Yeah. And that is something really cool. I know someone else asked, does the Galleon 100 SD, does it use IQ?
It doesn't use IQ, so it uses WebHub for and the way to kind of think about it is it's one integrated piece of hardware. The software experience is going to be slightly different though. So on the keyboard side of things, you are using Corsair WebHub, and on the Stream Deck side of things, you're using the Elgato Stream Deck software. So for customizing the RGB on your device, if you want that flash tap or any of the other keyboard settings, you do that within WebHub. And if you want to customize your Stream Deck on the right side, then you're going to use the Elgato Stream Deck app. That's also where all the plugins live, all the integrations, all the power, everything lives inside the Stream Deck software.
And we'll be talking a lot more in depth about the Stream Deck software with a live demo later on. So, stay tuned. I'm glad that you love the WebHub, Obbiliterator. And let's see. Let's answer one more question before we move on. Can the Stream Deck stuff be integrated into WebHub?
It isn't directly integrated, but we recently launched a plugin called Corsair Control, which actually gives you a lot of the functions of WebHub as a Stream Deck plugin. So if you want to change the polling rate of your keyboard, if you want to change the preset on it for the colors, then you can do that right from the Corsair Control Stream Deck plugin. And we'll also show that later on in the show today. I think when Hoffman and I are back on to talk all about the functionality for games and also outside of gaming.
All right. Thank you for the questions. Right now, we're going to move back to some of the pre-questions I had. So do you think, Phil, are we moving towards more integrated control surfaces? I know earlier Julian mentioned that we have quite a few products with this sort of Elgato integrated surface, such as the Vanguard, the Scimitar, and even the Night Sword that was just announced at Computex. Do you think this is the future for us?
Yeah, I mean, your devices should do more than just the thing that they're kind of initially set out for. So, I mean, again, like I said earlier, your keyboard in the past, all you've done on that is type, but it could do more and it should do more nowadays. And so one easy way to do that, and well, it's not easy. It's actually quite a challenge, building a Stream Deck here.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think maybe Tobias has some more on that. But or even Alex. But we've been thinking about how we can build the Stream Deck experience into more devices, and bring that experience to more of you, either through physical, in the case of Gallion here, or even through things like the virtual Stream Deck on the Nightsword V2 and the Scimitar. So there's a lot that we are kind of working on, and there's a lot of thought going into this and how to bring that experience, because Stream Deck is incredibly powerful and adds a lot to your setup. Again, either if you're gaming, you can get a more immersive experience. If you're playing something like Star Citizen, trust me, there's nothing as cool
Or
as sitting there
Helldivers.
and you want to like raise your shields, or even call up the basically the control tower inside of the station and get landing permission. It is really cool to just tap a key on the Stream Deck there on the side and do that. It feels incredibly immersive. So that's the gaming side of things. And then also having that device built right into your keyboard cleans up your desk a little bit. So if you then are doing things like live streaming, or you want to have a nice aesthetic setup, you have just less on your desk. So yeah, overall, you're going to be seeing Stream Deck more in many different devices from Corsair, in the future. And
Yeah.
I'm really excited for that.
Yep. So stay tuned. We can't spoil too much, but there are things coming out. So
I
next,
have a reputation on our live stream to always leak stuff. I'm going to try to not do that here.
ban Phil. No.
Yeah.
All right. One quick question. Do you need to have the web hub all the time open all the time if you want to make use of it?
No, not at all. So WebHub is you open it, you configure your keyboard, and then everything is saved onto your Gallion. So once you've configured, say your presets, your polling rate, whatever it might be, then you can just close WebHub and you're good to go. If you want to then change that dynamically though on the fly, like let's say you are in a game and you need to change a setting, you can do that via the Corsair Control plugin that you can put on the Stream Deck.
Mm-hmm. All right. So some questions for you, because as you mentioned, you are a creator. How do you think the Gallion keyboard changes the creator workflow? Do you think it's would you say it's a substitute or a replacement for the Stream Deck? Or would you say it's something nice to have with it?
It really depends on your setup and on your workflow, right? So again, in the case of gaming, it adds a lot to the immersion and then also to the control of things outside the game. If you have a single monitor and again, you're playing with friends, you've got them set up in Discord, you need to quickly mute, unmute, you want to check, you want to join a channel, you want to even adjust their volume levels. You can do that right from the Stream Deck dials, for example. You could select the channel, press the dial, join it. You could then, let's say your friend is getting really loud, you can rotate a dial to turn them up, to turn them down as well.
Turn them down, mute them.
Exactly. So all of that is something that you can do right from your keyboard now that you couldn't do before, and that normally would take you right out of the game. And that's a really big part of the experience that we built with Gallion is we want to keep you in the game. We want to keep you focused. We want to keep you playing. We don't want to take you out of the experience, and Gallion enables that with the Stream Deck, which is pretty cool, and through all of those plugins.
Mm-hmm.
For other workflow things, something that I would challenge you guys watching in chat, think about this for a second. Is there something that you do, and maybe not so much game related, but in your general day-to-day that takes 3, 4, 5 mouse clicks? And then ask yourself, is that something that you could potentially map onto a Stream Deck key where it takes just a single press? So a very basic example, and I'll show this later on, is opening folders. If you're working on projects, it could be a personal project like a live stream, you're building some graphics out, or let's say, I don't know, you've got a D&D campaign that you're doing virtually with friends. You want to manage all of the character sheets and everything that you've got going on, and you've got that all set up in folders on your browser. All of that takes multiple clicks. With a Stream Deck key, you can bring that down to one press, right? You do one press, boom, it opens that folder with all of your graphics in it. It could be one press to bring up those character sheets, something like that. So basically at that point, and okay, this is a little marketing-y, but you're seeing like a 4x improvement in your workflow speed. You're going from 4 clicks down to 1 press. Okay, that's a 4x benefit there. It's not that simple, I know, but that's kind of the way to think about it is, are there things that you do over and over on repeat that you could do in maybe a single key press with Stream Deck?
Mm-hmm. I know one thing for me is I constantly have so many tabs open.
Yep. Yeah.
Is that something you could do with just one press?
Yeah, so that's actually the one way that I use Stream Deck in my setup, especially for work, is I have all of my like dashboards and all of the links that I frequently access set up inside folders on the Stream Deck. So that way I can just, well, in this case, it'll be 2 presses, but 1 press to go into the folder, a 2nd press, boom, it opens the page in my default browser. It's always right there. Updating those bookmarks is quite easy and quite quick then as well. And I do the same thing for like admin stuff, you know, if I need to put in some like admin reporting expenses, whatnot, all these like different links and things to keep in mind. I'll throw those just all on Stream Deck so that way I can just press a key and it might insert a specific number. It might insert a product SKU, opens a spreadsheet, that sort of thing, makes it easy. And so what we've actually seen is that not only has Gallion been really successful and you guys are really enjoying it for gaming, but there are also those use cases outside of gaming, also in things like pro broadcast, where people love it just because you have that Stream Deck right there. So if you are running a broadcast, in fact, a stream like this, I don't know if is Henry using a
Yeah, that was our mistake. We
Gallion?
did not use a
Yeah.
Galleon, but
Next time.
we are using a Maker, so
Yep.
still Corsair, but for the next time, we will definitely be using a Galleon for those scene switches, maybe pulling certain audios.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also show later on how to set this up with set it up with OBS, so that way you can do scene switches and all of that. So if you're interested to see how that actually all works, then definitely stay tuned.
Yes. So a few more questions for you.
Okay.
What is the aha moment for new users? I don't know if you're new to the entire Elgato ecosystem, or maybe with the Galleon, this was your first time getting access to the Stream Deck functionalities. What do you think is like that, oh my God, this is it moment?
That biggest aha moment that we see is when you do something with Stream Deck that, again, usually takes multiple mouse clicks or even something that you have to type in, or when you see information presented right on your device. So for example, with the Discord plugin, you can actually see who's in your channel. You can see the actual icons pop up. You can also trigger the soundboards that way. What's cool is if someone joins or leaves a channel, that also shows up on the key. So it's all real time. It's API based. The plugin is talking with Discord at that point, and then you see that happening right on your device. And that's such a cool experience because it's not just hotkeys. A big misconception with Stream Deck that we still get to this day is, oh, well, it's just hotkeys. I can just do hotkeys. I can just press Control this, and this. Sure, hotkeys are there. In fact, even Stream Deck supports hotkeys if you want to press a key and trigger a hotkey. However, the big unlock there is through those native integrations between different applications through plugins. So again, I can see my system stats right on my device. I can see the music that's playing on Spotify. I can also just adjust my system volume if I want to and see that right on my device. So seeing it is going to be, or is where we have a lot of folks when they get it, they go, oh my gosh, I didn't know I could do this. Actually, here's a little pro tip for everyone watching. If you want to get the Stream Deck experience today, and it's very close to what you get with Gallion, you can actually get Stream Deck Mobile for free on your mobile device.
Free?
So, yeah. So
Free
if you have a
Elgato
phone,
Stream Deck?
if you have a phone,
Wow.
you can take your iPhone, you can take your Android device, you can get Stream Deck Mobile, and you get 6 virtual keys. So they'll show up. It's the real thing. They'll show up on your device. You can tap on them. You can use all the plugins, all the same features that you get if you have a Gallion. What's cool about that is you can already get a feeling for what the experience is. You can see if there's something that you like, or if there's a plugin that you've been looking for and you're like wondering how it works. Well, you can set that up on your phone and then try it out. And then, of course, right now during Prime Day, you can get a discount on that Gallion if you try it. Or even in the future, you could then consider picking up a physical Stream Deck. Using Stream Deck on your phone is nice, but let's be real, we don't all want our phone constantly on just sitting in front of us, especially if we don't have a charge or something like that.
No.
So it's nice to just have a physical device then in front of you, and of course you get one on the
Yeah.
Gallion.
And is that mobile app you mentioned, is that for Android and iPhone?
Both, yep.
Wow.
Yep. It's just on the App Store, so you go in the App Store, you get Stream Deck Mobile, and you just install the Stream Deck app on your laptop or your desktop, and you're pretty much good to go.
Wow. I think I know what I'm going to do after
There's
my
no more
portion.
excuses. Yeah.
God, I'm going to be heading to the App Store, is it?
Yep.
And I'm going to get that. All right. So we are wrapping up this segment, but don't worry, Phil will be back with Hoffman later to show some demos. But before we wrap up this section, what do we have to raffle off? Let me pull it.
Yeah, you have it actually. There we go. It's a Stream Deck Mark II in black here.
Wow. So
That's
I don't
pretty
know. Do you
cool.
want to show what it actually looks like? I know we have one on set right now. So
Got one
this is the
unboxed
box,
here.
brand new. You will not be getting this. This is for our demonstration use only. You will be getting this exact Stream Deck. So if you are new to Elgato, if you're new to Corsair, this is the perfect, maybe start for your journey.
Yeah.
But
How do they enter this giveaway though, or this raffle?
gosh, yeah. So if you're new, how do you enter the
attention?
It is exclamation point giveaway. So you have to type exclamation point giveaway and fill out the form and make sure that when we pull it, which will be just in a few minutes, you are active here on stream and commenting in the chat in order to enter. If you are not here, we will have to re-roll, but there's always more chances. This is only our second giveaway out of 4. Wow, I see a lot of exclamation point giveaways.
Yep.
Yeah, you
And
guys
remember,
like the Stream Deck?
everyone's a winner.
Everyone's a winner.
Because you can also get Stream Deck Mobile for free. So there's going to be one lucky winner who gets the Stream Deck Mark II here with 15 physical keys.
Yes.
But everyone's a winner today because you can get Stream Deck Mobile for free on your phone or tablet if you have a spare one, just, laying around. And oh yeah, another fun thing, you're not going to get this Stream Deck, the one that I've been, touching here.
I mean, unless you guys want it, we can do something like that too.
I don't think you want that. You probably want a new unboxed one.
We'll
and that's
fill
what this guy's gonna
autograph.
be. I could
I
do that.
mean,
I could sign it if you really want that.
Yeah, Mikey, if you are the winner and you specifically ask us for Phil's autograph,
Yeah.
that can be done. A little strange, but it can be done.
Sure.
But
Yeah. Absolutely.
All right. Do you think we're ready to start pulling
I
a
saw
winner?
a couple exclamation point giveaways. You guys all entered your. What are there any terms? Like, do you have to? I guess it's all probably in the form, right?
Yep, you'll see it in the form.
Everything's there. Compa JT says, "I'm ready." OMGKF, let's go. Good luck.
Good
all.
luck,
Okay.
everyone. All right. We'll give
All
you
right.
guys, let's say 30 more seconds to enter
Yep.
the giveaway. So, for those. And what's cool? You can probably program something on your Stream Deck or Gallion
You
that
could.
automatically enters the giveaway. So, if you guys are watching us from a second tab and you're like, oh my God, giveaway? Boom,
Yeah.
press that button. You're in the giveaway.
You probably could. Yeah. There was a question. Do they need to enter again? Like, was there an earlier giveaway? Do they need to re-enter?
I don't think you have to enter again, Chanslin. If you can, same
It's the
pool.
Okay,
So
so if you did
once
earlier,
you're entered, you're good.
Then you're.
But you
all set.
cannot win, one person can't win all 4. So it will be very fair.
That would be quite the
competition.
coincidence, or quite the crazy work.
Imagine. It's my alt
Yeah.
account.
All right.
All right. Are we ready?
Let's do it. Let's pull the
All
winner.
right. We are going to do a drum roll. Let's do
Okay.
10. Ready?
10,
10, 9, 8,
8,
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And the winner is
Da, da, da.
Galaxy on YouTube.
Galaxy.
Congratulations, Galaxy.
All right. And it's Galaxy present.
You are getting a Stream Deck Mark II here with 15 keys. Make sure you, send a message in chat.
Send a message if you want Phil's autograph. I don't know if that was you, but we can make
It's not
that
a requirement.
happen.
It's not a requirement, that's for sure. You can also get a clean box with nothing on it. That's fine. They are here. Awesome. Well,
All
congratulations.
right, Galaxy, congratulations. This will be showing up on your doorstep. Let us know, if you're here in the next stream, what are you going to put? Maybe tell us what you put on your macros, maybe anything crazy you set up. Let us know. But
Yep. All
all
right.
right, that is a conclusion to this segment. Once again, Phil will be back. He does
Yep.
have to run back to, 10 to Elgato. But thank you so much for being on here, Phil.
Yeah, thanks for the questions. And chat, thank you for your questions as well. I will be back on later. I'm excited to talk all about how you can use your Gallion. So I'll see
Yes,
you
sir.
then.
All right, see you soon.
homies spin the block, hit the gas, hit the gas. All my homies spin the block, hit the gas, hit the gas.
All right, I am back with Julian
Hey,
Dang.
everyone.
So I don't know how many of you guys are still here. Thank you guys for staying. But Julian Dang did come on earlier. I don't know, for the new viewers, do you want to introduce yourself again?
Yeah. So, hi everyone. I'm the senior manager here for go-to-market and campaigns for our gaming products. Yeah, been here for about like 5 years now. So,
She's senior, dang.
Gallion is also one that I've personally launched and worked with so many people on this team. So,
Yeah. So actually, you'll be hearing a little bit about the people that Julian's worked with in a minute, right?
yeah.
Yeah. So unfortunately, we couldn't have these speakers join us in person as they are all over the world. I guess that really shows how vast Corsair is. We have teams in Taiwan, we have teams in Vietnam. God, what am I
Yeah.
missing? We have teams in UK, Europe,
Europe, all over the world.
everywhere. So they couldn't join us in person. You know, that would have been a crazy stretch. But what did we do? We did we did record them. So really, really cool. I will go ahead and let Julian introduce Tobias.
Yeah, so first up we have Tobias Brinkman. So he is our senior SVP for gaming. He is the big boss here.
Oh, yeah.
My big boss. So
I'm scared.
worked a lot on Gallion, and he really put the pressure on me and the team to get this out. And in the end, it was worth it. It was nice to see all the reception from our community, and seeing everyone's hard work. A lot of late nights, a lot of stress, but in the end, the results were worth it. And he was right. So
Yeah, for those of you that don't know, I see Julian working crazy hours. I'll be going home, right, with my little backpack, and I'll still see Julian in her cubicle working. So she is one of the biggest reasons why the Galleon has launched, right? You managed and did the go-to market for this keyboard.
I did, but I can't take the credit. I
Of
mean,
course.
I have a great design team, a great web team, great technical marketing team, just so many different people that were so supportive on this project. And
Yes.
they really also worked hard with me to kind of pull all
Yes.
these late nights, and then just seeing everything come together during CES as well, and just all the different people that's coming up, talking about it, and just seeing like our creators and everyone around it. Yeah, it was a great experience from that point.
So I guess a little backtrack. When was the Galleon launched? I know it's been a little bit now, so this is sort of a rehe of the Galleon.
Yeah, I mean, we launched back in like, I think announcing it during like CES. and
CES,
taking, like,
guys.
pre-orders around there.
Yep.
Yeah, it's been a long time in the making as well. Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
Like,
we'll see
this-
that.
yeah, I don't know if you want to talk about
Not too
it,
many
but-
spoilers, chat. But okay, why don't we dive right into the clips from Tobias? So, a little first question. I know Julian did introduce Tobias already, but he did have a really strong history before coming to Corsair with the idea of Galleon. Production, why don't we roll that first clip?
The idea behind Gallion is very personal to me because it connects directly back to a project I started many years before joining Corsair. Back in 2016, after spending around 15 years in gaming and hardware, I left the corporate world and started my own company. Initially, I was consulting, but pretty quickly I realized what I really wanted to do is build products again. So gaming was a natural thing to do. And when I looked specifically at keyboards, I felt there hadn't been a lot of meaningful innovation for quite some time. At the same time, we were seeing some major shifts happening in the market. Gaming was continuing to grow, but so was content creation. Platforms like YouTube, Twitch, and social media were creating an entirely new generation of users who weren't just playing games, they were also creating content, building communities, streaming, editing videos, managing multiple applications, and generally doing much more from their PCs. What became really obvious to me was that keyboards could become much more than an input device. They could really become a control center. So that thinking eventually became Mountain, and specifically the Mountain Everest Max. It was a modular keyboard, but one of the most unique features was the integrated display keys. Those allowed users to customize controls, launch actions, and interact with software in ways that were very similar to concepts what Stream Deck had and has in a standalone device. The product was received extremely well because people immediately saw the value and the features it provided. They wanted customization, they wanted flexibility. They wanted hardware that adapted to their workflow instead of forcing them into a fixed experience. But as a startup, there are always limits. We build a lot of software functionality and integrations, but when you compare that to what Elgato had already built with Stream Deck, with a huge install base, years of software development, an incredible plugin ecosystem, and a passionate community of developers, you can clearly see how much larger the opportunity was and is. So when I joined Corsair, we started looking at how Corsair and Elgato could work more closely together. So this felt incredibly natural. In many ways, it felt like completing a vision that started years earlier. And it was quite amazing to see the alignment and motivation from Julian and the entire Elgato team to make this happen. And perhaps most importantly, it aligned perfectly with what customers had been asking for. For years, both Corsair and Elgato users have been telling us they wanted a keyboard that truly combines high-performance gaming hardware with the power of Stream Deck. Galleon 100 SD is exactly that.
Wow, that is really inspiring. So I know Tobias mentioned he already thought about, something similar to this since 2016. God, what year are we in? 2026?
2026.
That is a whole decade of, we are not ignoring Tobias, but no, that is a whole decade of just thinking and, finally it has come to life.
Yeah.
So I know he mentioned that the community has been asking for this for a long time. And I know you've been here a little bit longer than I have.
Yeah.
How do you think, do you think this was it? Like, do you think this answered their questions about, the start of the Elgato integration with Corsair?
Yeah, I'm sure it answers part of it for sure. Definitely.
More to
Tobias
come.
coming in, and especially gosh, I don't even know when even Corsair acquired Elgato, like
Elgato.
on the top of my head. But since that, two of those teams coming together, I know internally this has been talked about for a while, and I know Alex would kind of go talk
Yes.
about it, but it's not our first time trying to integrate Stream Deck and building something similar. So I would say this is a great start of showing hey, a truly full-fledged idea coming to life, and it's a Stream Deck built directly on our keyboard. So it's not just from a software perspective. It's not just kind of mapping our G keys or anything like that. It is a fully built Stream Deck, and having that whole team come together, it's really been a great pleasure to work with them to bring it to life.
Yeah, so I feel like I really want to emphasize this. We listen to the community. You guys have been asking for this, and we delivered. So I think that's a really important thing to mention and note, that, we're always constantly taking in feedback, taking in suggestions. What products do you want to see next? Maybe are there any colorways you want to see on the Galleon 100 SD?
Yeah, I mean, we are definitely looking into it. This was the start. Everyone always throwing out different things.
Yep.
Like, will we see like different layouts? Will we like
Yep.
have different colors? All that stuff. So, this is the start. We wanted to have a Stream Deck built in naturally what a full size keyboard is like,
Yes.
still giving the functionality of a numpad. But now that we've seen such a positive reception, it's the next step's like, okay, what else can we do? So colorways, definitely we are looking into that. Maybe something potentially this year.
Maybe, guys.
Yeah, so won't speak too much about it, but
Yeah,
we're
can't
looking at
spoil
your
here.
comments, guys. We're looking at colorways and other stuff, what things that you guys want to see. So it's not out of the realm of possibility.
So yeah, production, why don't we open a poll? What colors do you guys want to see come to the Galleon 100 SD? Tell us in the comments, answer the poll, let us know. And all right. So going on to the next question, back to Tobias. What does this product sort of represent for the future?
To me, the Gallion keyboard represents where gaming and creator hardware has been heading for a long time, actually. One thing that's become increasingly clear over the last several years is that the line between gamers, creators, streamers, professionals, and power users continues to blur. Many people are some or really all of those things at the same time. But honestly, creating something that fit that really wasn't possible in this form until Corsair and Elgato came together. If you look at a gamer, he might be streaming occasionally, create content for YouTube, manage some Discord communities or edit videos, and obviously, control audio devices, launch applications on the PC, and go look for ways to simplify day-to-day workflows. The modern PC experience is so much more complex than it was, 10 years ago. At the same time, users are telling us that they really want to simplify and have cleaner setups. They don't necessarily want to have 5 more devices on their desk. They want smarter devices. That's why the Galleon 100 SD is so important. It isn't simply about adding extra keys to your keyboard. It's about bringing one of the most powerful software ecosystems in the industry directly into one of the most important devices people use every day, which is the keyboard.
Mm-hmm.
What's also changed dramatically is the role of Stream Deck itself. If you look a few years ago, many people primarily associated Stream Deck with, streaming. Today, that's only part of the story. The Stream Deck ecosystem has expanded into gaming, productivity, communication. Developers are using it. You can utilize it for home automation, system monitoring, audio control, and so many other use cases. On the Gallion keyboard specifically, we honed in on gaming, and there are a lot of specific gaming profiles, like for Star Citizen and Cyberpunk, for example. There are game integrations, community-created workflows, plugins, shortcuts, and automation tools that gamers use every day when they stream or not. So when we talk about the Galleon, we're really talking about the convergence of gaming hardware and intelligent software control. That's where we believe the industry is going. Hardware is becoming much more personalized, more adaptable, and increasingly defined by the software ecosystem around it.
Yeah, that is really interesting. Do you have anything to add to that maybe Tobias didn't cover?
I mean, he covered quite a
He
lot of
did.
it already.
He's great.
Yeah. So, Tobias has a lot of great ideas, a great vision for the team, and I know every day he's kind of like mentioned this to a lot to everyone. So,
Mhm.
yeah, I don't think I have much to add, to be honest.
He got it all. All right, really quick, back to the color question that we asked before we head on over. I saw while we were watching the recording, what is Honda Purple? Do you know, Julian? I don't know what Honda Purple means. But I know we had a lot of suggestions. We saw what? White, blue, purple, even
Teal,
some.
pink.
I saw a glow in the dark.
Yeah.
That would be crazy. I don't know if that's possible. Is that possible? Maybe one day, right?
Possible.
Ooh, and Hoffman says mint would be so good. Oh, and where can we get a Corsair beanie? Is that a Corsair beanie?
No, not at all. This is my personal beanie, but I'm sure I don't know. We make event merch all
One
the time. One
day.
day.
Yeah.
We'll have a
I don't know.
Corsair
Drop in
beanie.
the chat. Do you guys want a Corsair beanie that's modeled after the one Julian wears? I mean, we can get something to happen, right? You guys just have to tell us. But let's see. Oh, I know someone mentioned purple. And, speaking of purple, I know a really cool thing just dropped for the K65 Plus.
Yeah, we have Atomic Purple.
Atomic
and,
purple.
Quite a lot of our products are Atomic Purple. Like,
Yep.
I think DIY, like Xeneon Edge.
Yes.
There's a Atomic Purple model.
Yep.
Yeah, so we have our April Fools. We also came out with that with like the K65 Plus, and we also have the M75. So yeah,
Yes.
more
All
Atomic
right.
Purple.
So there's Atomic Purple to serve you already, but maybe one day in the future, can't say too much and can't guarantee anything. But all right, moving on to the next question. Why do you think the ecosystem integration is really important? All right, let's hear it from Tobias.
Well, I think the Gallion keyboard is a major milestone, but it's actually part of a much bigger strategy that's already underway. If you look across Corsair and Elgato today, you'll see that we've already brought the Stream Deck experience into many parts of our assortment. We introduced virtual Stream Deck functionality on products like the Scimitar Elite, allowing users to access Stream Deck controls directly from their mouse. In addition to that, we have integrated Stream Deck functionality into keyboards such as the Vanguard series as well. And most recently, we launched the Nightsword V2, our first Stream Deck mouse featuring a dedicated Stream Deck button that instantly brings up virtual Stream Deck and gives users access to the full Stream Deck experience directly from their desktop. So these aren't isolated products, as you can see. They really represent a very deliberate direction. And we believe users should be able to access the Stream Deck ecosystem wherever it really makes the most sense. Sometimes that's a dedicated Stream Deck device. Sometimes it's a dedicated and integrated keyboard. Sometimes it's integrated into a mouse. The goal here for us is to make the ecosystem more accessible, more connected, and more useful across the entire setup. What makes this especially powerful is that every new integration increases the value of the overall ecosystem for the users. The more places Stream Deck exists, the more valuable profiles, plugins, workflows, and integrations become. And because Corsair and Elgato sit in such a complementary position within the gaming and creative space, we're able to deliver experiences that are truly and genuinely unique to the market and give users the value and features they really have been asking for.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow. So, he mentioned not only is the Galleon something that has this integration, he mentioned a mouse.
Yeah.
That cues into the mouse. Julian, I'll let you talk a little bit more while I go grab it.
Yeah, for sure. So Tobias talked a lot about the Nightsword V2 wireless. That is our first Stream Deck integrated mouse. So, Scimitar, we also have Stream Deck integration, but this one has a dedicated Stream Deck button built in as well. So still has that direct Stream Deck integration for it. You still also have the great gaming performance that you expect within this with, I forgot off the spec, like, sorry guys, don't burn me at the stake, but
Rose turn. No.
you have 33K DPI, but also like more additional input buttons as well. That's all programmable into the Stream Deck. So you can have different profiles. You can map them onto there. So if you're playing like any games like MMOs, I'm going to use MMO a lot. Oh, this one you pulled up the Scimitar.
Oh, God.
We were doing Nightsword. Anyway, sorry,
We
guys.
don't have the Nightsword yet. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
I'm just trolling around.
No worries. The Nightsword, though, even though it's not this one, same thing. You still have programmable buttons. I think it's about roughly 8, all controllable by the Stream Deck app. You can set different profiles. You can do MMOs, which I'll reference a lot because I love playing MMOs. But you can set it for other different things. I think we demoed like Pragmata and Genshin for a little bit during Computex, where you can do like scanning the fields or pulling up different like characters, things like that, and just mapping so many different abilities. So that's a great example of like in-game, but like Tobias and Phil mentioned, consumer needs are growing, the games are evolving. There's so much things that we can do out in and outside of the game. So things like Spotify, Discord, you don't have to alt tab all of it, and it's just right at your fingertips. So it makes it
Yep.
really easy and fun, so that you don't have to kind of like look back on your screen and being like, okay, let me just like
Mm-hmm.
switch my application. You can just do it in a button. It just makes everything much more convenient and seamless.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we really want to drive the point home. This isn't just for gamers.
Yeah.
This is for everyone and anyone. But yeah, the mouse does look good. It looks really sleek. I really love it. Okay. How many customizable buttons? Was this for which mouse are you asking for? Scimitar, was it?
Scimitar has like have 12.
Let's take a closer look.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got 12 buttons on the side, so 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, so that's 12 for the patent key slider that we
Yes.
have, but you can also do like program like some like the tilt and other things too. So
Mhm.
we have the 2 button clicks here, the 12 what was it? 12 key slider. This one's the special like the yellow edition one.
We
so
have different colors.
I know there's different colors, and some of the numbers are not shown here, but it is textured, so it's much easier for you to kind of like feel and be like, okay, this is this group of buttons and that group of buttons. If you're like me and have small hands, it's a little bit harder to reach, but
Yep,
the texture
me
also
too.
helps for me to be like, okay, this is the button
Yeah.
I need to press. So sometimes I quite like to map most of like, I don't know if I was playing Final Fantasy, map all my emojis through 1 through 6. Because I like to spam my emojis. And then on the other buttons, I would spam kind of like some of my other macros that I have in game. Yeah.
Yeah. So someone asked, which one is this? Might just get it because I know I won't win it. You never know. There's always more opportunities. So again, for those of you, which mouse is this?
That is a Scimitar Elite Wireless.
Yes. And Julian, could you hold it like you are using it?
Oh, hold it like I'm using it?
Yes. Let's just do it in the air. I'll have you take that.
I know. It's going to be hard to show. I'm a palm user, you guys. So I like to hold things flat on my palm.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can kind of put it. I don't know if you can see it. I feel like I have to turn it this way to show it here.
Yeah, someone says, I have the Dark Core Pro and 2 buttons on it. Given out on me. Well, you know what? It's time to order the Scimitar mouse. That might just be your next natural step. All right, so a little bit about the Scimitar. We might see it again later in the stream, but we want to go back to the questions from Tobias. So what does the future look like for Elgato and Corsair with this keyboard coming out?
Well, I can't give away too much, but at the end of the day, we're here to design and develop really cool and meaningful products. So the biggest thing customers should expect is that we're going to continue to listen and we're going to continue to innovate. If there's one common theme behind products like the Gallion, it's that they're driven directly by customer feedback. As we talked about earlier, the request for deeper Corsair and Elgato integration isn't something we have been hearing for a few months. It's something that we've been hearing for years, and we took that feedback and wanted to create the solutions that our communities and customers wanted. They've consistently told us they want the performance and quality of Corsair hardware combined with the power and flexibility of the Stream Deck ecosystem. What you've seen recently with products like the Vanguard series, Scimitar Elite, Nightsword V2, and now the Gallion keyboard demonstrates the direction we're heading into. So we're creating more touch points across the entire ecosystem where users can access Stream Deck functionality, automation, controls, profiles, plugins, and integrations across the board. And we're really only at the beginning. The much larger vision is very simple. We want to have less fragmentation, deeper integration, more personalization for our users, and smarter hardware experiences. Ultimately, this is something only Corsair and Elgato can offer together. We have leading industry gaming hardware, we have the Stream Deck ecosystem, we have millions of users across both communities. And we have a very clear understanding of what those users have been asking us to build because we've been listening them for years. So the products we've talked about, and Gallion specifically, is one of the first major milestones in a much larger journey. And, we're super excited about where that journey goes next.
Hmm. Wow. So really seems like this is just the start. I know I've said this a few times, but we are always open to taking more community questions, more suggestions, and this is just the start. So, you guys stay tuned and, there's a lot more to come. So, all right, we have one final question that we've asked Tobias earlier. So, how does this transcend the overall ecosystem story? All right, Tobias is
Well,
coming.
I think the Gallion keyboard is a major milestone, but it's actually part of a much bigger strategy that's already underway. If you look across Corsair and Elgato today, you'll see that we've already brought the Stream Deck experience into many parts of our assortment. We introduced virtual Stream Deck functionality on products like the Scimitar Elite, allowing users to access Stream Deck controls directly from their mouse. In addition to that, we have integrated Stream Deck functionality into keyboards such as the Vanguard series as well. And most recently, we launched the Nightsword V2, our first Stream Deck mouse featuring a dedicated Stream Deck button that instantly brings up Virtual Stream Deck and gives users access to the full Stream Deck experience directly from their desktop. So these aren't isolated products, as you can see. They really represent a very deliberate direction. And we believe users should be able to access the Stream Deck ecosystem wherever it really makes the most sense. Sometimes that's a dedicated Stream Deck device. Sometimes it's a dedicated and integrated keyboard. Sometimes it's integrated into a mouse. The goal here for us is to make the ecosystem more accessible, more connected, and more useful across the entire setup. What makes this especially powerful is that every new integration increases the value of the overall ecosystem for the users. The more places Stream Deck exists, the more valuable profiles, plugins, workflows, and integrations become. And because Corsair and Elgato sit in such a complementary position within the gaming and creative space, we're able to deliver experiences that are truly and genuinely unique to the market and give users the value and features they really have been asking for.
Wow. So, yeah, once again, this is, I guess I would say, I wouldn't say it's too much of the next generation, but this is definitely something that's on the rise, something that we really want to push here. I think Julian can maybe speak a little more to that as she is directly working with pushing out new products. We can't spoil too much, but Julian, what can you say anything about maybe what are the next things without giving away too much?
Yeah, I mean, I can't give away too much. Try not to spoil things like Phil does on his stream, but
Wow.
yeah, I mean, again, this is just the start, and we've been looking at so many different things internally. Everyone kind of throws out their ideas, like, can we make it modular? Can we do it on the left side? Can we look at other layouts? So, I mean, besides doing deeper integrations, more customizations, and things like that, we're just looking at what else can we do across not just keyboard, but like mice, our headsets,
Headsets too, guys.
headsets and other stuff I know that are coming out, but I can't speak too much about it. But in the future, there will be more coming out along the line, whether it's this year or next year. Who's to say? Certainly not me, but
Yes. All right. So we've heard a lot about where the future of Galleon is going. Now we are going to learn about a little bit of the history and exactly how it was made. What went into consideration? Were there any challenges? We're about to hear from that. And I will have Julian introduce our next speaker.
yeah. So this person, his name is Alex Shao. He is our senior director for the gaming product. So he handles and runs and oversees all the product managers and their team works with the engineering, with Tobias, and all the different internal people too, to come up with, hey, what's our roadmap? What's the future of Corsair gaming products looks like? I've had the pleasure of always working very closely with him when new products are coming down the line. He gets a lot of my inputs too. And then, yeah, we have a lot of conversations around like, hey, what makes sense? What have we seen out in the community? What have we seen out with gamers, streamers, and with our other, brands as well? What makes sense? So yeah, he is great. He's awesome. Soft-spoken person. So hopefully you guys are able to hear
Turn
him
up the volume a
on
little bit.
the on the pre-recording. But yeah, he'll take you through kind of like where some of this ideas have been coming from, the history behind it. Yeah, and hopefully gives you guys a little bit more insights on, especially for anyone who's interested in going into like product development and stuff. This would be a great way to kind of like, peel back the layers and learn a little bit about that.
Yeah, and without revealing too much, are there any other products besides the Galleon that you might have worked with him on that was already out?
Oh my gosh. I worked with him on a lot of different products back when even just doing color refreshes. I mean, I've been here for 5 years now. We did a JoJo launch for like in Asia. So that was kind of like also one of the bigger projects. And then we slowly moved into other ones like K65 Plus. We did kind of like few other ones, Vanguard, Air.
That will be given away later,
Yeah.
actually, very soon.
Yeah, so I mean, my journey here at Corsair has been kind of like fluid. So
Wow.
for a while, I was doing partnership drops too. So
So she has experience in many different categories. So
Yeah.
she is the lady to ask all these questions for. So, treat her nice, ask the questions now. But all right, let's learn a little bit about the Galleon. So this is a question for Alex, and we're going to play this clip. But, what was the original idea behind the Galleon?
Well, it begins when we try to come up with a new gen of K100. In the beginning, we tried to explore a lot of concept ideas, like adding features here and there. But eventually, we landed one single concept: is that why don't we just include the entire Elgato Stream Deck ecosystem in? So that way, the product will grow as it goes because we have this huge community behind this marketplace, right? So that's how we come up with the new Gallion 100.
Yeah, so we'll talk a little bit more about the marketplace later. I don't know, Julian, do you want to talk a little bit about that now and the new additions that we've added to marketplace?
yeah, I could definitely touch upon that. So, it's funny Alex brought K100 because it was also something I worked
Yep,
with him on.
K100 guys.
K70 Core, a few other ones. So, yeah, I mean, I'm sure you guys also heard it with like Phil. But one of the things that we were trying to do is just, okay, launching Galleon 100 SD, what are things that we can incorporate? So we have the Corsair control plugin. So now you don't have to kind of go directly on WebHub to kind of control your polling rate, your lighting control. That can now all be done through Stream Deck. So that was something that we listened to the community. We also wanted to make sure that the experience was very seamless, especially when you are using the Stream Deck, right? If you are paying for this keyboard, you probably just want to use the Stream Deck portion. So how do we make that part easier? So Corsair plugin that is now live. Go check it out and make it much more easier on you guys to kind of like use those functions. We've also had a couple of other profiles that we dropped. We have like a cyberpunk one. We worked a lot with one of the creators called Icon City. So for a while, like for a select period of time, a lot of his profiles for Gallion is available to download for free for I think a year, up to a year.
Dang.
So if you guys do download it and the free promo period is over, you guys
$3.99.
you guys still have it, so you don't have to worry about it like getting removed. So I think he has like Cyberpunk. I think he might have like a couple other ones as well, like maybe Arc Raiders is also on there, and
Yeah.
Diablo is also on there. And it's always growing, so I can't keep up with all the different profiles and plugins that are kind of like being pushed out. But
Every day there's
I
more,
know.
am I right? Yeah.
yeah, quite a lot. So, but those are the ones I know on the top of my head. And there's quite a few other like profiles and plugins out there that even though if it's for a Stream Deck, you can easily just import that into Gallion and organize it however you want for the specific thing you need.
Yeah. Thank you, Julian. So I know she shared a little bit about how there's, a little bit of struggle blending both the Elgato system and the Corsair. So we're gonna hear directly from the guy behind it. You know, when did you realize that this was a viable product? When did this become viable?
Well, honestly, this is not our first time doing this integration, but back then the experience wasn't really great because we don't have the proper protocol to sit in between two devices. So both at firmware level and software level. By the time we decide to design from the ground up, I think this is the key turning point. The second part will be the hardware level. So the hardware component is also very important because we're actually building the entire Stream Deck module. That is non-existent nowadays. So finding the right component is really challenging, and I'm glad that we overcome that as well. Lastly is really because it's how complex the project is, so we do be able to assemble a great team to work through all different orgs, suppliers, and that is really the key point for the time when I think this is viable.
All right. Yeah. So it seems like it was a little bit of a challenge to have everything put together. Julian, do you know anything about the behind the scenes and the production of this or manufacturing?
Yeah, I mean, it takes a while for these things to develop, even if we have the idea in mind. So I had multiple conversations with Alex before. It's like, oh, why isn't this a viable idea?
Mhm, yeah.
He talks a little about it, right? There is kind of like the protocols that you have to make between the two softwares to make sure they like talk to each other. And, if right now, at least with where we're at, we have a great team behind that. And he'll talk a little bit more about that.
Shout out Corsair team.
I don't want to take away his thunder, and he can explain it way better than me. I am definitely not an engineer of any sort to try to explain it. But yeah, there's just a lot of things going behind the scenes, you guys, just to make the hardware parts and, the supplies and getting that all together.
Yep.
Verifying it through the system, getting all the marketing pieces together, and just also making sure we get the right user testing and all that stuff and working out at King's. It takes a pretty long time to kind of get this out the door.
Yep.
I mean, I think this has been 3 years in the making. Like when I was first kicked off, I remember getting the initial brief like maybe between a year and 2 years ago, and now it's like finally here.
Yeah, so that is crazy. I don't know the usual production timeline for products like this, but to me, 3 years is like, that is a lot of hard work that's been put in from so many teams everywhere. But okay, with accomplishments, there are some trade-offs. So we're going to hear from Alex. What were the biggest trade-offs when creating this keyboard? Boom. Oh, he's thinking a little bit.
Well, I can certainly share some. So the first one is definitely, for me, is the numpad, right? So because we want to keep this as a full-size keyboard, and if you sneak in a Stream Deck module, the numpad has to go, right? But I think I'm glad that we later on have come up with this numpad mode. So at least for a certain level, you can still take it as a numpad. The second part is connectivity, because originally we wanted to make this wireless, for example, for sure, because this is a flagship keyboard. But then, as you know, Stream Deck always run in the wired mode because the fact that it has to always constantly stream high definition and high FPS content, you only go through wired mode for the current protocol. Another part is we also have this gaming grade keyboard on the side, so supporting both high power consuming device at the same time, it will drain the power very fast. So we decided to keep this as a wired setup as we should. So
yeah. So I know a lot of you guys might be wondering, why isn't the Gallion wireless? And I feel like that really answers the question. I think Julian can speak a little bit more, but with the Elgato Stream Deck in it, as well as such an amazing keyboard itself, unfortunately,
Yeah, it takes a lot of power, you guys,
Yeah.
right? So we need enough power to feed into both sides of it. And honestly, that kind of goes back to the first question, when we first became viable, is we have to evaluate all these different features. What are the trade-offs, while also balancing feedback from our communities and internal, and having 3 years to develop all those things. There's going to be things we don't catch. So that's why it's so important for you guys to be super vocal, share us these things,
Yep.
and maybe it'll make its way into the next project.
Yep.
But yeah, hopefully yeah, I've had people to ask when's the wireless version coming, and we'll see, guys. We'll see what we can do.
We'll see. Can't say too much. All right. Now we're going to hear, there are some challenges. So I guess question for Alex was, what was the biggest challenge for this
The biggest
keyboard?
challenge to me, like I mentioned, is about the protocol, because we're talking about two different devices in one, right? So each device have just work as a unique system all by itself. So it has its own firmware and also corresponding software stack. So we're talking about two firmware, two hardware, and two software, everybody talking to each other. So that is how complex it is. But I'm glad that we have overcome this. We have this great team to work across organizations that will make the very different.
Yeah. So actually, I don't know if you guys noticed, but on Alex's placemat on his desk, there is actually a prototype of the Galleon 100 SD in its early stages. So we did get some comments from the community when we posted this event on Discord. And some of you guys asked to see maybe some of the rough sketches and some of the prototypes that, we drew up and we sketched out. So production, if you could cue to the first sketch of the prototype of the Galleon, I think that's really cool. Oh, or this one is great too. I know. Oh, there we go. There's the sketch. So yeah, that is really cool. And that is the sketch from all angles. And then the next one we have coming up, I think Julian can speak more to that. What is that we see on screen?
Yeah, I mean, these are different, like 3D prints, sketches when we were looking at like, okay, how do we bring this to life? What are the internals? Can it fit all in? Exploring different ideas around that too. And eventually we kind of landed on this, and Alex can talk more. I don't know if it was included about like finally getting all the components, getting all fitted, getting a refresh ID coming to life. So there's a little bit more of like what I can speak to. I think I see a couple of chats of people asking like, what are other things in the future, modularities, all that stuff. So yeah, guys, I mean, similar to what Tobias, Alex, and all our teams have been saying, like, these are things we are actively discussing, but production takes quite a long time, and it's not off the table. This is still just the start. We wanted to first verify this, that this can be a thing, and the software and the hardware works together seamlessly. And then community reception of it, like, hey, is there a huge market for this, and do people want to see more of it? And the answer is yes. Evidently so. We see a lot of people asking for it. So it is coming something we're looking at for sure.
Yeah, and in case you're new, I saw someone asking, is this the product origin story of the Galleon? Yes, welcome. This is a deep dive into the Galleon keyboard. And all right, we're going to go straight on to our next question because we are a little bit short on time. So we have 2 more questions from Alex. And then what are we doing? Are we pulling our giveaway item? Vanguard Air 99 Wireless. So stay tuned, stay on here. And of course, as always, exclamation point giveaway. All right. How did feedback shape the product?
This is a great question because we actually did receive a lot of feedback during development time. So one of the example I can give you is originally we want to design this all button design because some people think the more stringent button, the better. But then we still want to eventually we want to keep this large display area still. And so that eventually lead us to enable this 4-quadrant design that we can enable 2 pair of die actions. So now it can function almost like a Stream Deck Plus. So I'm glad that we reached this conclusion. The second part is now we have this display area. What are the number of keys needed to support the basic function that we need? We go from 3x3 in the beginning because the footprint area is not just big enough, but then we actually have to define that into a 3x4 setup because we really need the numpad mode to support that. And eventually we have to change the entire chassis just to fit that in. So I'm glad that we make this, take those feedback as a positive way.
Yeah, so feedback is important, guys. And, I don't know, do you want to add anything to this? Or else we can move on to the next question.
No, I think we could definitely move on to the next one. I know we're short on time, so I want to make sure.
We want to make sure we have time for that giveaway, you guys. I know you guys are here for that, of course. You guys are also learning about the Galleon, right? But giveaways are important. So last question from Alex, and then we'll say bye to him. But, you know, this is really important, and I think we can talk about this a little more afterwards too, but what feature are you most proud of?
Well, I think it's the user experience that I find is very beyond my expectation because take myself as an example. I think I still remember that right before the launch of this product, I was into this game called Expedition 33. So I was one day stuck in a game. I was thinking, why don't I use Gallion and just make a profile for my game? And then eventually I came up with this Expedition profile for myself. And I realized the biggest problem for me is that I'm stuck at QTE. So that way I can truly enjoy the second half of the game without really, failing so many times. So I really encourage everyone, just whoever has this device, really try something. You can definitely find the one use case that works for you, right? So this product really truly has a great potential for everyone out there. So I can't wait to see how our user experience that true wonderful experience like myself.
Yep, perfect. So I guess that kind of leads into my question for you, Julian. What feature are you most proud of, or what is your favorite feature?
My favorite feature, I mean, I'm a big visual
Mhm.
girly, so
Mhm.
I just quite liked like the LCD display. So there are
God, I
times
love
where I'll
that.
switch out just and have like my artwork kind of like
Mhm.
displayed out on here. Um, and I quite like the different profiles and just like the smart profiles and how that can change based on my application.
Mhm.
And then I get the other stuff, not just to give the Stream Deck portion some love, but I do like the ID. I do like the RGB. I do like changing out my different themes and having that match. So
Yes.
yeah, I'm very big on visuals and seeing all those different things. And I want to say shout out to Alex for his Expedition 33 profile. It's something that we also demoed during CES that everyone really loved. And
Mhm.
yeah, I also suck at QuickTime events, guys. So.
Yeah, so Corsair is known for their RGB, and of course, we didn't sleep on the RGB for this keyboard. But that is enough, or not enough. Thank you, Alex, for that. But guys, what time is it right now? It is giveaway time. So you're probably wondering, if you're new here, what are we giving away for this segment?
Vanguard Air 99
Put
wireless.
this here. So, Julian, do you want to talk a little bit about the Vanguard as people put in their exclamation point giveaways? Remember, that is how
Yeah.
you enter.
So this is also one of the other projects I got the pleasure of launching.
Yeah,
So this
she's
is
everywhere.
the Vanguard Air 99 wireless. If you guys remember the K100 Air, this is our next gen version of a low profile keyboard. So we came out with our own. We had like before the K100 Air used low profile cherry switches. We're using optical low profile Corsair optical switches.
Mhm.
So upgrade in the performance there. We do also have virtual Stream Deck integration. So while not having virtual Stream Deck and also Stream Deck integration on the G keys. So you can launch virtual Stream Deck to expand your kind of like on dashboard shortcuts and other menu items that you want to pull up, but you
Mhm.
also have still the Stream Deck integration within the G keys. Still has like Slipstream, all the other gaming performance like Flash Tab and all those other stuff and goodies. So great for anyone who wants a low profile keyboard. I personally myself love the white colorway. I'm very big on like white.
I love
peripherals.
white too. Comment if you like white or black. I know that's a big discussion. Or if there's other colors. I know we just saw the Warthog come out at Computex, so green is also one of the factors that we can consider. But all right. Do you think we're ready to pull the giveaway? All right, guys, we're gonna give you 30 seconds to put in exclamation point giveaway. If you're streaming in, if you're coming in from Twitch or YouTube, you have to be in chat to claim your giveaway. All right, let's do a countdown.
Yep.
All right, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Let's see who won. Oh God, there's so many. All right. And the winner is Slow Smokes. Congratulations.
Congrats.
You just won the white Vanguard Air 99 wireless. Slow Smokes, are you here? All right, Julian. All right,
All
Slow
right.
Smokes is here. So
It's yours.
This one, it's yours. It's getting sent to your door. All right. And, I do want to remind everyone, if you didn't win this time, there is one more giveaway. And the giveaway item for that is, what the stream is all about. It's the Galleon 100 SD. So stay tuned. We have a demo coming up from Phil and Hoffman about gaming. And then we will do one more giveaway at the very end. All right. See you guys on the next one and see you soon very shortly.
All my homies spin the block, hit the gas, hit the gas. All my homies spin the block, hit the gas, hit the gas.
Welcome back. Sorry to hit the brakes on the rave that's been going on.
Yeah.
I'm hearing all sorts of stuff about the music. We're back. Hoffman, Phil, joining you for some demo time here. We're gonna kind of go over the first use experience out of the box. What's that like? And then we'll get into gaming, streaming, productivity, everything you might want to use the Galleon 100 SD for.
So yeah, we're gonna talk games first and that out of the box experience. Then I'll jump a little bit into how you use it outside of gaming for streaming. At the same time, chat, make sure you get your questions in.
Yeah.
This is the live demo portion. So ask your questions and we'll get them queued up and then we'll show you. So if you're like, how do I do X? How do I do Y or Z? Maybe we can spend some
Even
time
Z?
on that. Even Z,
Wow.
folks. Even Z.
Yeah.
Yep.
This is your chance to put us in a situation where we sort of fumble around and try to figure out things on the fly. It's going to be great.
And we're doing it all live. But okay. All right.
Yeah.
Shall we jump into it?
Yeah, let's flip over
It's
to showing the screen and the keyboard as well.
Oh, and we actually have a poll up. I'm being told. I just don't know what the poll is about yet. But I'm sure you can read it because you can see it in chat.
You probably know what it is.
But oh, what should we demo? Okay, so the poll is what should we demo? I also don't know what the questions are, so chat, just let me know. We'll read it out here. But we do have. What do you have actually prepared? You have Satisfactory. Is that
Yeah,
it?
yeah. I'll be playing a little bit of Satisfactory, showing the profile that was created for that. It's a free profile available on Elgato Marketplace.
The best part
Yeah.
is here that I'm going to be completely out of my element. I've never played Satisfactory. I'm more of like the shooter person. I'm not on the whole strategy and like that whole
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
And
The crazy mess of conveyor belts and other nonsense.
yep.
Yeah, yeah. I'm also new to Satisfactory. I sort of self-banned myself from it because I knew I was gonna have problems. I got so into Factorio a couple years ago, and like literally like lost sleep to it, got addicted to it.
So it's great.
Uh,
We're breaking your
so now,
streak.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Or
yeah.
sorry,
Now
I
I'm getting into
guess.
Satisfactory, and it's been great. But I'm very new, so go easy on me with that. But
All right. Well, let's jump in.
yeah, let's do it. So if we could flip over to showing the screen here, exclamation praise production in chat. You
Wow.
guys are on fire.
Yeah.
All right, so I've already opened up the Stream Deck application here, and you can also see on the lower camera feed the Stream Deck itself, or the Galleon. As with any Stream Deck equipment, you can tweak things and change things in the Stream Deck software, and it changes it live on the Galleon. So that's what we're going to be seeing here, and vice versa. If you click into a folder here, it shows up on the Stream Deck software as well. But yeah, so basically right out of the box, it comes with this default profile included. You get, for the two dials, you have the left one here. You can always click that to go home or use it to scroll through the different pages that are already programmed in here. Very useful. And if you hold on the dial, clicking down, then it switches to the bottom portion of the screen. So that's how we're able to have the dials kind of complete two functions on the screen, kind of expanding the functionality a little bit given the smaller footprint where you only have two dials, but you kind of have the actions of four in a way. So by default, you're controlling volume with the right dial, and then press and hold to go down to the bottom one, which would be Spotify if we had that installed and running right now, which we don't. But it kind of gives you an idea of those. And then here on the main screen, you've got, not calendar, what is this? This is weather, showing kind of just a quick view of the temperature, and you press it to bring up a couple different factors. I don't know if that comes through on camera, but it shows kind of like highs and lows, and what is that? Some sort of wet bulb temperature or something. I don't know. Then a couple little widgets here, CPU and RAM, and actually pressing. We've gone away. We don't have to go back to the screen, but if you press the CPU, it brings up the task manager.
Yeah. Nice little thing.
Yeah,
there,
a little
right?
bit of a nice Easter egg there to bring up your performance if you are interested in that. But yeah, then moving on, we got everybody's favorite, a nice little soundboard. I don't know if these are going to play through stream, so maybe I won't poke around too much with them. But you just press, and these are all pre-programmed sound clips that come with the Stream Deck software.
I think
So
that's also important to mention is that this is the default profile. This is what the experience out of the box. So when you install the Stream Deck software, you're going to see these pop up right away for you. And these can be changed. You know, we've had in the past also some folks ask like, hey, I plugged in my Gallion, or I even just plugged in my Stream Deck, and there's already a bunch of keys configured. Was this like used? Like, did somebody already use it? And no. This is just the default out-of-box experience. We program a bunch of, or basically we set up a bunch of keys for you to get you started. Also just to get the gears turning.
Yeah.
You can, of course, completely remove everything, start fresh if you want to, but this is just a great way to show you some of the features and functionalities of this keyboard that you just bought.
Yeah, exactly. Basically like a little demo that's built into it. So that's that one. Then there is a button here in the middle to meet Galleon. So it brings up an Explorer article that kind of goes over it's essentially like a quick start guide, kind of giving you the overview, what to expect, and familiarizing yourself with everything that it can do. And it gets kind of like into a good amount of detail here. This is a really good resource if you get it and aren't sure where to start, or you kind of want that little bit of an introduction. So that is very nice. And then very important button just to the right of that, the download profiles from the Elgato Marketplace. So this is where we'll be going in a few minutes to get that satisfactory profile to add that in. But this is what we've talked about a couple times already. Elgato Marketplace, just this endless treasure trove of profiles, plugins, icons, everything that you could possibly want to customize your Stream Deck peripherals. And you'll notice there's a lot of these gaming profiles right now for the Gallion. Obviously, that's kind of one of the big pushes and reasons to get into these profiles. But there's also a lot of productivity ones, Notion, Premiere, any application that you might want that level of access with them for.
The great thing about the profiles is that those are fully preset up. So if you are wanting to hop into a game and utilize your Gallion within just a couple minutes, instead of taking maybe half an hour to set everything up with custom icons, which is obviously a big part of the Stream Deck experience, then a profile gets you going incredibly fast. There's some made by us at Elgato and Corsair, and the majority of them are going to be made by makers, though, on Marketplace. In fact, makers like yourselves, you could go out there. If you have a Gallion, you make a profile, you could even share it on Elgato Marketplace. So you'll find a bunch of them there. Some are free, some are paid. In fact, there's a discount right now running. So if you are looking to, if you do pick up a Gallion and you want to then also purchase a profile, you can do that right now and get 20% off on the ones that are eligible, which is pretty cool.
That is awesome. I didn't actually know that.
Yeah.
And during the first, I don't know, 6 months, year of the Gallion's life, a bunch of these gaming profiles that would normally have been charged are available for free, just to get them out there, get people familiar with them and used to it. So do take advantage of that. They, if you download them now when they're free, you have them, they're yours for life. Even if we do kind of return to charging for those in the future. So do definitely take advantage of that. So yeah, that's the Elgato Marketplace button there. Then what do we have? This one is labeled as just like a generic gaming button, but it kind of brings up your maybe hotkeys that you'd like. Open Steam, open Epic Games, a few Discord integrations. We don't have these all set up right now necessarily, but you can automatically mute people or deafen yourself, or all these things that kind of give the little bit more ease of use to the experience. We had a couple people talk about wanting to mute their friends in Discord, and this is where
you can do that. You can individually mute. Like if Hoffman and I were playing and we had a third friend with us, I could select just to mute them and put that right on a Stream Deck key, or I could have you guys both on there and selectively mute you. There's a lot of fun things you can do, and I'll show that a little bit later.
Yeah, that's really good. That's something I haven't messed around as much with, is the like specific, I want to mute this person, or do like getting really fine grained with the Discord stuff. So I'm excited to learn more about that. And then down in the middle here, there's everybody's favorite emoji button, just if you need really quick access to emojis.
Do you know off the top of your head what the emoji shortcut is on your Windows keyboard?
I don't.
Okay, so that's exactly, that kind of proves my
No.
point there.
No.
That on Gallion, it's great because you just have that emoji keyboard there. It can, of course, bring up the system emoji picker, or it just has a bunch of them already set up right there for you. So if you quickly want to send a clap, or fire emoji, the heart emoji, then you can just press on that key.
Yep, super convenient. And I saw OMG asks, is the screen touch? It is not. So this portion up here with the screen, no touch screen. It's just visual feedback on what the dials do and how everything's working there. So yeah, then the last one is a YouTube one. This is another one where it's kind of showing the functionality of how you could use this, setting it up, kind of giving you a little bit of those ideas for future thought for when you're going to customize further. But yeah, there's one thing I like about the Stream Deck too is that it has all the like prompts in it. Like it gives you, add creators you follow, Twitch or YouTube, get notified when they upload. Kind of give like right on the device, giving you a prompt of what you can do with this and how you can help set it up. Very convenient. But yeah, we have these set up to automatically open. What do these do? Do they not? Oh, it seems that it's not opening it.
Or maybe it is on the browser.
Oh, good point. No, but yeah, you basically give it the URL that you want it to go to, and it would act as a hyperlink to that.
What's also cool is depending on which one it is. I think this is the YouTube ticker. It can also notify you when there's a new YouTube video or when someone is
Oh,
live. So if you have a favorite
that's
creator that you're
right.
watching via either Twitch, or if there's a YouTube video, if it's a YouTuber, then it'll actually show like a little notification, or it'll even show the thumbnail. You can even select that there, right? You can do channel logo. I think you
Yeah.
can also do a thumbnail of the latest video. And then it will pull that in. So that's enabled via a plugin, which is super cool. So again, all these little touches that are enabled by Stream Deck, and the fact that you do have, I mean, essentially what you have in front of you are, what is that, 12 plus the LCD key? So you have, or the LCD screen, you have essentially 13 little displays that can all show you information like that.
Yeah. Yep. Very convenient. And then this lower right one is kind of a like system interaction hub, if you will. So it gives you the hotkeys to pin windows to the right, left of the screen, or go full screen, and then a couple of media hotkeys that kind of work system-wide media rather than the specific Spotify integration, but also very useful. And then the final thing that we've touched on a little bit as well is the kind of hardware mode numpad that's built in by default. So if you saw, I clicked into the numpad here. You get all your numbers and an enter key. So if you're just purely entering data into a spreadsheet or doing something very simple like that, this is all you need, and it kind of covers everything. Then if you do need to do actual functions like multiply, add, all those things, that's on a separate page here because of the limited number of keys. And then hold it to
But the
go
simple
back home.
answer is yes, Galleon has a numpad. It's simply one that is on the Stream Deck.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly.
Actually, you just mentioned kind of hardware mode, and I don't know if that's been talked about yet, but what is since we're still kind of in the early stages of the experience here, what is the experience when you, let's say you don't install the
true,
Stream
yeah,
Deck app yet? Obviously, that's what
before
we
Stream Deck.
recommend, but
Yep.
if you quit Stream Deck, what does that look like?
I am quitting that right now, and it takes you to kind of so this says kind of those bare minimum or bare media keys here at the top again. Mute your microphone, then change different themes for the keyboard. So I don't know how well that shows up, but changes like the LEDs and the RGB lighting and everything. You got that. Then you can change the polling rate kind of on the fly here with a button. Also convenient. And you saw that kind of like reset everything as it was reestablishing the connection to the
And
computer.
I don't think you're going to be seeing this often because, of course, the reason that you purchased a Galleon is to have that Stream Deck
Right.
software. But
Right.
this is mostly so that there is a fallback hardware mode. Let's say you don't have the Stream Deck app installed yet, or let's say it's just not running, or you connect the Galleon to a new computer for the first time. Then you do have this hardware mode where the keys are the LCD keys. They're still going to do your basic system functions like Hoffman's demonstrating here. You have your volume up, down, your mic mute.
Yep.
That sort of thing. But again, the first thing we really recommend is installing that Stream Deck app and start to customize those keys and do much more with them.
Yes.
And so, yeah, once you install the Stream Deck app, it just takes over those keys again, right? So you just launch it and then boom, it's right back.
Yep. And here I'm scrolling through the different RGB levels for the keyboard on the left side, and then the Stream Deck LCD levels here as well. Which this is a little bit of a preview of when I do open the Stream Deck software.
And while you do that, there's a question from OMGKF. Does this work with Mac too? It does. So Galleon does work with Mac as well. It's the same experience that you have on Windows, like we're showing here. So once you install the Stream Deck application, boom, you can configure
Yes.
everything in the software.
Yep. Fully supported. And so getting a little bit into some of the customization, maybe some of the first things you might want to do if you saw on the hardware mode the ability to change the RGB level or the polling rate or enter game mode, things like that. And if you want to add that in while the Stream Deck is open and it's fully operating as a Stream Deck, there's a Corsair control plugin that is now, I believe it's included by default in the Stream Deck
I
software.
think so, yep.
So that's what I got pulled up here on the screen on the right side here. And so that gives you all these access, like you can pull in. I've created a new page. I'm doing this a little bit sloppily. You'd want to maybe tweak things so they look a little nicer, but demo mode. So we got what we got. But I've just pulled in that action to have the keyboard brightness be controlled by the Stream Deck, and it shows up here. You click that, it scrolls through the different brightness levels as it did in hardware mode. but now we've got the functionality in Stream Deck mode as well.
So the poll actually concluded, and chat
Yeah.
wants us to showcase the LCD screen or show that a little bit. So
Oh,
maybe we can put some
yeah.
actions on there,
Yeah,
or go back to one of
absolutely.
the other pages and then show kind of what that looks like and also how it works again. Because yeah, it's not a touch screen, but there's some pretty cool. The way that you control it is with the dials, and it's pretty cool.
Yes. Yeah. So, I mean, right now, the right dial here, as you can see, is, or maybe hopefully you can see, there's a little white box around the top section, which is the volume control. So you just spin the dial to go down. It's configured right now to go in steps of 3, but you can change that in the software. Henry, if you wouldn't mind pulling that up. Basically, when you are customizing within the Stream Deck software, at the bottom of it here, when you select a different parameter or an input or a button, in this case the dial, then it gives you all the different ways that you can customize it. So you can change your step size to be in increments of 1 to 5. 3 is a really good middle ground. But basically whatever you might need for your specific setup. And that's how then back to the keyboard, how when you turn it, it does that action. Press the dial once to mute, or press it to unmute, and you can also change that functionality.
It's actually going to be action dependent in this case. So the actions will let you do it. If you go on the Spotify one, I believe that's the one that lets you change it. We do have Spotify installed. We just need to open it. But yeah, so you have some options there. Pressing and holding that dial is what changes. I think we call them, what do we call them? Is it segments or sections? Actually,
I'm the wrong person to ask.
I
You're
would-
you're the expert.
Technically,
here.
I should know this, but I also forget exactly what we call these. But I'll call it just like a segment. So you basically have your top segment, your bottom segment, and the dial controls. If you press on it, and press and hold, essentially you can choose between the two. And what's cool about this is you get essentially 4 dial actions, right?
Yeah.
Because each dial can control 2 segments, and so within that you could do one for volume of, say, your headset, another one for volume of your mic, one for your music. You can rotate through. In this case, we also here have those pages. I think that top left one actually scrolls through
Yeah, exactly.
all those different pages. So when you see
Yeah.
Hoffman hold it there and now rotate, and it actually moves. So it's almost like a kind of like a master control for the entire device. Just that one dial on the left, which is pretty cool to scroll
Yep.
through those pages.
Yeah. Yeah. Super convenient. And let's see, what would be a good thing if we wanted to swap out? Let's say we don't have Spotify running here. What would be a good thing to swap in as another dial action here?
So the volume control one, that's going to be quite popular just because it's easy. It's just volume control. You just drag that on there, and then you can choose either a specific device, and then you can just adjust in this case, what you have is the input device. So this would be your microphone then. There's also, you can choose output device or hardware, and you can also choose software. So basically everything, or you can just choose a specific piece, like a specific app.
Yeah.
But yeah, everything is drag and drop there, and you can see all the dial actions. Basically everything that you can put on the top there is going to be in the software under that dial category. So everything that you see
on the
there,
right here.
these are all the dial actions as part of the plugins that are installed.
Yes. Yep. And that's where, if you have an idea of something you want to do with it, going to the marketplace, searching the available plugins, there's so many things available that, which actually maybe I'll do that right now, kind of show off some.
It's a great segue to our next thing, which is the game, right? Was that Satisfactory profile actually from the marketplace as well?
Yeah.
Did you grab it from
Yep.
there? Oh, very
Yep.
cool. Okay, so
Yeah, real quick, I just wanted to show kind of all the different plugins. There's so many. There's OBS, Discord, Twitch, YouTube, like any possible application that you can think of has some integration here with the plugins.
and I'll show those after Hoffman shows the game controls.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't mean to spoil a little bit of that.
No, all good.
Yeah, so to go immediately pre-filtered to Gallion 100 SD profiles, the convenient button on the Gallion itself. So yeah, as I showed a little bit before, here's the whole list of everything. Kind of goes on and on and on. There's so many of these available already, and they're being added more and more by the day, which is great. So here is Satisfactory, which is the game that we'll be playing. So downloading that super quick. Come over here, extract that, and then this is a little tip that I learned when we were going over stuff yesterday. I thought you had to manually load in the profiles into the software here. So you can go to the settings, profiles, and then import profiles
That's
to
like
select the file.
5 clicks
That's
when
so
you
much.
could do it in
The whole
much less.
the whole point of this is to optimize, and I'm sitting over here like a chump opening things that way. Turns out you can just double click the Stream Deck profile file and yeah, load it immediately into the Galleon 100 SD. And it comes up in software, shows up on the device itself.
Beautiful
Super,
icons already too.
yeah. This is I believe this is one from Icon City, who do just a ton of, like, you'll see their name all over. They're very prolific with these packs, and they do good work. So yeah, this is kind of like as far as setting up for, okay, what do I have to do before I actually want to boot into the game and get going? Like that's it, right? Like
Yep.
you
Yep.
just you load it up and that's it. Now the one thing you can do as well, which I need to remind myself how to do this, is
A
set
smart
it
profile.
so that it opens up with an application here. So going into settings and then profiles, select the right device, click on the profile itself. You got the list of all the different profiles with all their pages broken out, and you can kind of see that. But when you're selecting the profile itself, you can have it automatically switch to this profile when a specific application is opened. Very, very convenient. And in the case of a particular game like this, you'll have to click other and kind of drill down and
Yep.
find it in the file explorer. But once you're set up with that, that's it. And then every time you load into that game, it'll load up the profile, which is incredibly convenient. So yeah, with that, I think we're ready to jump into the game and show the profile in action. So what, Phil, you said, what was it? You play a lot of shooters, you said? So
I'm more
what
of
profiles
a
have you played around with a little bit so far?
So
already?
for me, it's usually going to be the stuff that's outside of the game, right? If I'm keeping my hands on WASD and the mouse, it's usually stuff like joining a channel, playing a sound effect. I'm a big squad guy. Like I love playing squad. I'm sure some of you in chat know what that is. It's a milsim game. You have long load times at the beginning of the match. It'll take like up to 5 minutes to kind of load in and ever prepare and stuff like that. And if there's any squaddies out there, you'll know it's always chaos, people playing soundboards, music, all sorts of fun stuff, and just getting ready for the match. So in those
Yeah.
situations, just having some music and some sound effects queued up right on the Stream Deck keys there, that's how I use it a lot.
Nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good use. So yeah, load it up into Satisfactory. I have a good baking show. I have a save all ready to go. Just pulled it out of the oven. And so this is a little bit of a view into the spaghetti of my mind. This I'm again very new to Satisfactory, so this is my like 10-hour save file. Just kind of getting things going a little bit.
This is actually a preview here of how galleons are made. So this is this is a digital representation of our galleon of our factory. You can see we take raw steel pipes and we turn them into the keyboard.
Yeah. This is the Gallion in action. But yeah, so the kind of the big system killer for me with or like system selling feature for this whole thing is the immersion of it all. Like when you're playing a game like this, there are keyboard hotkeys to perform actions, and you can use those, and that's totally fine. But when I look down, and you can see it in the preview there, like you're playing Satisfactory, you look down, and you've got all the icons themed perfectly. You feel like you have a physical representation of like the heads-up display and the game like right here in your world that you're interacting with. It's just so like the level of immersion is just kind of like you can't really imagine it until you experience
Yeah,
it. I
it
guess
is hard
it's
to.
hard to like
Yep.
yeah. So it's very cool though, and basically what this does is it kind of is what it looks like on the tin. You have all these different actions that are defined by the profile that Icon City set up, so you don't have to change anything here. It's all configured to the default controls of the game. It's all ready to go. So if you want to open up your inventory, you hit the inventory button. There it is. Close it again by pressing it again. There's the build menu, so you can select what you want to build with it. There's, whether you want to hold something in your hand or not. The demolish button to demolish things that you have built. Um, and this little, what looks like a Wi-Fi symbol is for scanning. Hold that down to scan for different materials in the game. Just like it makes it feel more like, I mean, especially in a game like this where you are, the story of it all is that you've like landed here and you're trying to colonize and build up this space. So you're in a suit and you have this like armor with like a heads up display and all that sort of stuff. It just makes it feel more like you're interacting with game elements in the real world. So yeah, and different pages that are set up here. One for if you are in a vehicle and want to like dock your vehicle to the, because I guess if you're not familiar with Satisfactory, you start out with this whole spaghetti conveyor belt system, which is in no way representative of my cable management skills. Don't at me. But um, you start out with this just complete chaos, and what you're doing is you're mining. Well, you don't actually start out with that. That's what you do in the beginning. But you're mining for ore and materials, and then you refine those into raw materials, and then you take those refined materials and build them into something else. And it's this constant progression of taking the raw material and turning it into something better, and then you take that and turn it into something better, and eventually you're like building rotors and parts for spaceships and stuff like that. Like it's one of those types of games. And so, I am still at spaghetti conveyor belt stage, but I did, spoiler alert, I entered creative mode to kind of get some of these things set up to show off. So there are vehicles, which when this one's set up to auto pilot, it's kind of doing its rounds on its own. But if you were to take over control of it, which I actually don't even remember how to do, to be honest, it's in here. Let's disable autopilot. So, okay. So when you're driving around, you're doing your thing. Then if you do want to dock at the station, you have a little button to click dock. And now you've docked the truck and it's going to drop off its materials and you can drive them around and take them over to the other station. Basically, again, giving you the real world manifestation of the control system that this character would have if they were actually driving the machine.
And it
So
is
down
hard to,
here-
I think, convey on video just how cool this feels.
Yeah.
The example that I quite often use is Star Citizen. Getting into a ship,
Yeah.
bringing up the landing gear, changing the shield, power from, the shields over to the drive because I'm going to enter warp, stuff like that, calling up ATC to basically request a landing position. All of that, tapping on a key on the keyboard, on the Stream Deck key, is so cool. There's just no kind of feeling like it. It's the same reason for specifically a lot of sim games, and even something like this. I mean, to some degree, this is a sim game,
Yeah.
but that's why so many folks get things like HOTAS setups right and all of that to just be more immersed in gameplay, and that's what Gallion lets you do.
Yeah.
What would be some of your most used actions on here? Like, what's something where like I use this like all the time, or this one is like the kind of the number one thing here?
Within game, I really just use it for, I mean, you're opening build menu and demolish and scanning a lot. Like these are kind of the core buttons to press. And so I'm using those all the time, just again, for that level of immersion. So I love that about it. And it is really fun with the driving and docking and like doing, again, giving you that sense of feeling like you're at a control panel, which you mentioning Star Citizen, I think that's another game I really need to stay away from because it's probably going to be a problem.
Yep.
But now I really want to try it just to see what it's like, because it feels like that would be one of the more like premium experiences where because you feel like you're at like a cockpit, like
Yep.
It gives you all the controls. So yeah, that's just fantastic.
It's been so far a problem for not only time but also my wallet. I have
That's
many
what
ships in that game.
That's what I hear. Yeah, there's certain ship economies in there.
Yep.
But yeah, so I think, are we at a point where we should switch over to the other side
Yeah,
of the
we can
demos? Or
absolutely. Let's do it.
did anybody, before we do that, I guess, did anybody have any questions, anything that they want covered on the gaming side, or any curiosities about that?
I think it'd be also great to just go back to the marketplace and show just
Yeah,
all of
yeah,
the different
absolutely.
profiles available. So again, you can program, and when I say program, I really shouldn't, because setting up a Stream Deck is not programming. That makes it sound too complicated. It's really just a drag and drop interface. But you can set up those Stream Deck keys to interact with virtually any game out there. And that can take quite a bit of time. I mean, depending on how beautiful you want to make it. Are you someone who you drag and drop a key, you set it up, you leave it? Or do you want those icons? Do you want those pages, those folders, all of that?
Yep.
Well, Profiles makes it incredibly easy. You have some incredible makers on our marketplace who they really dig into the game. They take their time to figure out what makes sense here, what kind of layout, and then also they'll put incredibly beautiful icons on there for you. And so what you can go in and, I mean, if you're playing City Skylines, that's another one. There's a lot of, it's great for these menu heavy games where you're doing a lot of different things.
Yeah.
It's great for sim games, and they just get you set up. You can, of course, still customize the profile after that, so you're not locked in by any means. But if you go in here, you're basically getting just a compilation. In fact, I want to say, because we had Icon City on our live stream yesterday, I think he said the profiles for Star Citizen have something like 600 actions in them, which is pretty
That's
crazy.
crazy.
Well, yeah, I mean, across the entire game, right? You have your on-foot controls, your ship controls.
Yeah.
You have all of your different. I mean, when I say ship controls, it's like every little thing has the ability to be triggered. So it's a lot of actions, and they've taken the time to set that all up for you.
Yeah. The amount of work on the back end to prepare all that stuff is crazy.
Yeah.
And I saw somebody asked about, or didn't ask, but mentioned a Cyberpunk profile would be really
Yep.
great, and that does exist. We do have one. You can get a little preview of all the buttons here with their icons and everything, and yeah, really good theming to the game, and that's a good one. That one's free as well.
Yeah,
So
there's tons of free. There's also some paid ones. So definitely check out profiles. But okay, at this point, keep asking your questions. We'll switch over and do a little shuffle-a-roo here, and then I'll show you guys how to set up some of these different actions and plugins. So
Alright.
are you doing the cool thing, or oh, you're doing it? All right. I am the captain now.
coming back.
Let's see here. So, of course, we've showed you the default profile on Gallion and also the satisfactory one. But let's also check out what it's like if you have just an empty page here or an empty profile. I'm just going to go in actually, and I'll create a new profile here. And now there's going to be nothing on your device, and you're free to set up whatever you want. I've also installed a couple of plugins already, and plugins is how you expand the functionality of your Gallion. So with most keyboards out there, in fact, even most like numpads, macro pads, whatever, you basically just set up hotkeys. That's it. You set up hotkeys, and that's the end of the story. Because Stream Deck has those LCD keys, you need that two-way interaction. You need the Stream Deck to be able to trigger something in a application, and the application sends back status. Could be things like, are you muted? Are you unmuted? Or what's the CPU usage? Or what music is playing? That sort of thing. There was some interest earlier on the LCD screen, so I'll start with that actually, and we'll set up some of the dial actions here. The first one's going to be Spotify control. So for this, what's cool is all you have to do is have Spotify installed and open. And then, of course, you'll want to get the Spotify plugin from Elgato Marketplace. The easiest way to do this is when you're in the Stream Deck app here, you just click on the Marketplace button up here, and then you can search at the top for Spotify, or you can also go down the list, and you'll see it comes up right here. I've already got Spotify installed, so at this point, all I have to do is drag it onto one of the 4 sections here on the dials. So we've got it set up here now, and actually, there's not much more to customize at this point. It basically is just there. Let's
just
see.
set out of the box.
I might also need to actually play some music here. We've got Stream Beats by Harris Heller, which is some great royalty-free music. I'm going to go ahead and click on play there and check that out. It's actually showing right on the LCD, the segment here. And right now, I'm also going to change over the control of the dial to volume. So at this point, now when I rotate the dial here, it's actually going to change the volume of Spotify. And if I switch to, let's say, a new song, then it's also going to show the name of that song, right? So it's pretty cool. So if I click next on here, check that out. It brings up the album artwork right on the Gallion here, which is pretty cool. The other thing is if you press on the dial, it's going to pause the song. And then you press it again, and it'll go ahead and play it. So that's how simple it is. I mean, in this case, you don't even have to connect the two. You just launch Spotify and set up the
Yeah, it's
action.
automatically integrated into the app at
That's
the
it.
software level.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So then let's do something else here. Let's do Discord. So we have things like volume control. Of course, I can put that onto a key. Now for Discord, you do need to, of course, have Discord installed, have it running, and then install the Discord plugin. You'll also need to request access. Basically, Stream Deck needs, or you need to authorize that Stream Deck can control Discord. Don't worry, this stuff looks scary. It really isn't. And just click on authorize. And there you go. And at this point, yeah, you can choose to control, for example, your mic input or your headphone output volume. You can also choose user volume control. This one's kind of fun. This is what I was talking about earlier. So let's say I'm in a server with a couple friends. I can actually specifically select a friends whose volume I want to control. I'm not in a server right now. So let's see. I'm also just going to refresh Discord here. Let's do, we'll go back here. We'll join a voice channel. You could, in theory, also control yourself, but there's no real reason to. Let me just go ahead and double check that. Oh, yeah, of course, we have no mic connected. So that's volume control. But with Discord, it actually gets a lot more interesting when you do the key actions. So for example, just a simple mute and unmute. Set that up here. And then, I think it's because I refreshed Discord here. Let's see. I might need to. Of course, during the demo is always when things.
Yeah. Well, there's always going to be one of those. Right?
Yeah. Let's see. Discord. That's why we do this live, by the way. All right. We'll fire up Discord again here and request access. Of course, everything's not gonna want to work, but not to worry. Just a quick restart here.
Well, we said that Burrito wouldn't be making an appearance in our stream, but on Discord.
She actually is. Yeah.
Little Easter egg.
Let's see now. Huh. Okay. Discord is just not wanting to cooperate today. Okay. Well, we'll move on then to some other actions, and maybe we'll come back to Discord. For example, the Corsair control plugin here. So this one's also cool. Let's say, for example, you want to change the polling rate of your keyboard, and there were questions earlier about WebHub. Do you need WebHub open all the time, or how do you adjust settings? Well, you can do this right from Stream Deck. So, for example, polling rate here, I can simply drag this onto a key, and then I can choose to either set a specific polling rate or cycle between some different ones, right? So I could set this to 1,000, or I can, of course, go up to the maximum of 8,000 hertz here. Now, simply tapping on the key will change the polling rate of the keyboard. What's cool about this is that some games do work really well with 8,000 hertz polling. Some games actually don't like it. And so what you could do here is you could basically have a switch of going like, okay, I'm hopping into a game like Valorant, where it's like, boom, I have 8,000 hertz polling on, and then maybe I'm hopping into an older game that doesn't really work so well with it. You can switch it back down to 1,000, which is pretty standard. Yep. There's also things like your theme selection here. So if you set up themes on the Gallion, you do the themes via WebHub, and then you can select them here. So if you go into different games, you want different colors, that sort of thing, you can do that all via Corsair Control. So we'll leave that in there. One of my favorite things, and I think this is quite important if you're gaming, performance is important to you. You want to know your system is performing well, and that's going to be stats, just viewing stats right on your right on the keys. Again, you're in a game, you don't want an overlay over your game. You don't want, maybe you don't have a second screen or something like that. So we have the Simple Stats plugin here. This is actually a paid plugin. It's on discount right now, but I love this one because it looks super clean. The inspiration came just from Windows Task Manager. So for example, if we want to see CPU usage, just drag that onto a key here, and then it'll also show you a little graph. We can put memory on there as well, so memory usage. There we go. And now you can see, okay, we're using about 2% of our CPU, and we've got 35% memory usage. There's also some options here to change the values, You can also show the top process. So you can see here that, interestingly enough, Microsoft Edge is using the most amount of RAM right now at 1.3 gigabytes. So there's lots of great ways that you can customize it. Let's do one more here. We'll
with
just
with
do
alerts
GPU.
too. It has alerts
Yeah.
you can set if it goes above a certain level
Yep.
there. That's cool.
So check this out. I'm just going to leave these up here, and that already looks beautiful, right? And so now that's always visible on the keyboard. I can just look down and, oh, GPU's at 0%, or let's say I'm dropping frames in a game, I'm getting some like stuttering. I can check, oh, is my GPU at 100%? Maybe I got to drop some settings there or engage something like DLSS, right?
Yeah.
So
And
that's
the,
awesome.
these are different because when, as we saw with the out of the box experience, when you first set it up and plug it in, the default profile has CPU and memory
Yep.
viewing there. Is that a different?
That's a different one.
Different
That's actually
plugin?
here. This
Okay.
one's called System Vitals. It works slightly differently. It's got a different look to it. It's also great. Of course, this one is free. You can see here, this is like a test action. They even include some other stuff like ping. This one's kind of cool too. You can actually ping a specific IP address and then see. So now I've
That's
also got
cool.
Cloudflare up there. So I know that, okay, my average is going to be around 6 milliseconds. If suddenly my ping is going to, 50 milliseconds and I'm also lagging in game, hey, maybe it's worth checking. Is someone downloading something? Is my system updating? What's going on?
Yeah, that's
and I
slick.
can
I
just
didn't know
have
about
that
that
right
one.
there.
That's great. Yeah.
So, and this one also has a ton of options here that you can customize. So yeah, this is just some of the power of these plugins here. We also showed earlier things like the, in this case, channel monitor here, Twitch tools. Like if I want to see if someone is live, I can go in here, I can link my Twitch channel, and then it'll actually pull that in automatically. I'm not going to do it here. I don't want to dox myself. But basically, you can see which channels
You
are
don't.
live that I like to watch. Let's see what else we have here. Window Mover is kind of a cool one. This one's a little bit more utility. This is a plugin that lets you move windows around on your system by tapping a key. So for example, I can take this custom action, move it onto a key. I can choose a specific app or just one that I have in the foreground, and then I can choose what to do with it. Like if I want to move it to a specific location. So in this case, what I'll do is I'll choose app. We'll do Spotify, and then we'll say use current location here. And now if I move this, it just pops it up again, right up there. So I can literally just always bring it back up there, which is pretty cool. So
Ooh.
that way I can just quickly launch my apps and then, just press it, and there you go.
So you can almost use that to set up scenes, right? Where like if you wanted to have certain apps that are always open together, like you always use Excel with, what something else at the same time. You can
Basically.
set it to like just recreate that on a whim, right?
Absolutely, yeah. And so speaking actually of opening apps, that's one of the more powerful things that you can do with Stream Deck here. It's really easy to do. So I can just take the open application system action here, drag that onto a key, and then I can also just type in the app name. I don't even need to search for it. So for example, let's do OBS here because I also wanted to show how we set up OBS. Let's do OBS. There we go. Now I can go in here and I'll remove the title because obviously I know what OBS looks like, the icon, and I'm good to go. Tapping on this key now, we'll go ahead and launch OBS. Not only does it launch it, but it'll even show you a little icon there, a green icon, letting you know that OBS
The
is
status
open.
of it. Which then if you had that
Exactly.
minimized and you had 1,000 windows open and you couldn't find it, you could glance down and see, oh, it is open, even if
Yep.
I don't know where the window is.
In fact, if you minimize it and then tap it, it'll just bring up the
Brings it back up.
application for you
Yeah.
again.
That is
So
awesome.
let's see. So yeah, we've got some stuff here. We've got moving around windows. We've got opening OBS. What you're starting to notice though is that even just in this demo, the amount of keys that we have, they're starting to fill up a little bit, right? We've got some dial actions. We've got
Indeed.
some keys here, but we only have 5 left. So what are some ways that you can expand what you can do on your device? The first one is going to be with pages. You can literally think of these like logical pages that you flip through. You can create up to 10 of these. So I've created a second page here, and now this is just an empty page where I can add more actions to. So you've suddenly gone from essentially 12 key actions and 4 dial actions to, well, what is that? Another 12 actions plus another 4 dial actions, and
Yeah.
I can make another page, right? So you're not limited to basically just this one set of actions, these 12 keys here. You can think of virtually expanding them, but it goes even further than that.
Well, and real quick before you
Yeah.
go on, if you saw when Phil clicked to add a new profile, or sorry, a new page, It creates the page. It also creates the previous page and next page icons that autofill.
Yep.
So you don't have to worry about needing to implement the navigation aspects of it. It does it automatically for you. You don't even have to think about that, which is really nice.
And you can also move those around if you want to.
Yeah.
There's even some other cool things you can do with this. But okay, so let's say though you're on this first page and you're like, oh, I only have 4 keys left, but I really want to put some Discord sound effects in there, or I really want to put some like pre-composed text. Each key can become a folder. So you can right-click, create folder. I could put on here something like SFX, and now tapping on this will go into that folder. It's the same way that you have folders on your Mac or on your Windows system that has files in it. Works just the same way here. You go into that folder. Now you have access to another set of 11 keys here, and you can customize those. What's cool is you can even create folders within folders. So if you want to go crazy on the organization, on the depth here, you absolutely can.
How deep can you go? Is there a limit?
I don't think there's a logical limit, as in our app will just do however many folders within folders. Of course, it gets a little
somebody
ridiculous
figure
at
out
some
how
point.
many you can have before it breaks and let us know.
But actually, you know what? Let's change this over. We'll do a streaming folder here. We'll put OBS next to it, and it's like, okay, I want to get ready to stream. What do I do here? Well, first I would launch OBS, and then I might hop over into my streaming folder. And if I want to configure this to then control some OBS actions, well, you'll notice that I don't have the OBS plugin installed yet. One of the cool things you can also do to quickly get plugins is you'll notice at the top right of the Stream Deck software here, it says plugins. As long as you're logged in, you can just search for the plugin name here if you know it exists already, and just click get, and it'll install it right inside of the app here.
Yeah.
Now I can go back to keys, and you'll notice all of the OBS actions are installed. Now I can take, for example, my different scenes, like we'll do, if I had like a starting scene, a BRB scene, a gaming scene, maybe an ending one. Maybe I also want a source visibility for a camera, maybe for an overlay. We can also add our recording key here and also our stream key, basically to start the stream. Maybe we also add a filter, something that we put on one of the sources, and maybe a mute and for our microphones. So I've now set up a very, that was super quick, right? That was just basically a couple seconds to set up an entire OBS profile. Of course, I would need to now go in and, we could say something like starting, right? Create that scene. We'll do BRB and then gaming, right? And then we could start adding our sources as well here. I'll just go in. And again, because Stream Deck plugins talk to these applications via an API, you don't have to like type in an IP address or anything like that. The plugin connects directly with OBS, and you can see the scenes. They'll show up right inside of the OBS plugin. So here I could do starting.
That's too easy. Like,
yeah,
there's no friction left in this process. That's amazing.
No, it really, and that's really what we focused on with Stream Deck, and that's the experience you're getting with Gallion here. Is it's first and foremost just a great gaming keyboard, and it feels great, it sounds great, it's got great performance, and then you have that Stream Deck component that just absolutely blows up the features that it can do in terms of control of your setup, speeding up your workflow, adding to that gaming immersion there, and this makes it incredibly easy. What's cool now is, too, since I've selected those scenes and sources, if I now in OBS switch a scene, or I do this via Stream Deck, I can tap on the key and it'll highlight exactly which scene is active. So if I'm on the starting scene, that one's going to light up, and then I can go to my BRB scene and so on. So that's how easy it is to set up a folder inside of, on your Gallion keys here. There was also a question earlier about GIFs and basically custom icons. So yes, you can put GIFs onto keys here, and those will also animate, which is pretty cool. The way you would do this, let's say I've got the streaming folder here. I can go in. I can, of course, grab my own GIF from the internet, just pull one down from somewhere. We also have a Stream Deck icon library with which you can customize your device. We include a bunch of default icons, but of course, you may also want more icons, and those you can find on Elgato Marketplace. We have a bunch of free ones. We also have paid ones from different makers. So you can see here, there's tons of different icon packs that are being There's new ones being added every single day. And let's just pick a cool one here. I don't know. Let's do neon grids. This is kind of a cool icon pack. All you have to do is click open in Stream Deck, and it'll go ahead and download that icon pack for you. Now I can just go back into Open Stream Deck icon library, and you'll see it shows up here.
Yeah.
And these are actually little GIFs. It might be a little hard to see, but the grid is moving below, so it's got this really nice aesthetic. And since we have a this is our like streaming folder, I'm just gonna choose an appropriate icon here. Let's see, maybe we'll do this guy right here. So check that out. Now it says streaming on there. In fact, because I know that this is a folder and I know it's all my streaming actions, I can actually just remove that, and look at how clean that looks now. Again, it might be hard to see on camera, but this little grid down here is actually it's moving, which is pretty cool. So
Nice little bonus there.
yeah,
Yeah.
you can set GIFs there. You can set just basic PNGs or JPEGs. And with these icon packs, it makes it really easy to get a coherent, really nice looking setup, which matters a lot. When you're, I mean, you just showed it in Satisfactory, right? When you're playing, you want that immersion, or
Yeah.
when you're creating content, you just want everything to look good. You want to feel good about your setup, and having an organized and nice looking Galleon is going to be a big part of that.
Yeah.
Um,
And those icon packs, like I highly recommend going and looking at those. It's almost a little overwhelming how many there are. There's
Yeah.
just an insane number of options, but they have something for everyone. Like whatever styling it is or color theme, whatever you want, there's something there for you.
Let's see. There's a question here. What would be cool is if icon packs made the RGB on the keyboard match the pack theme. That would certainly be very cool. Right now, you would just do that manually. In fact, we kind of have already
Yeah.
this like purple, like neon aesthetic going on the keys. So it's in this case, I just use this icon pack to also align those, but they don't really crosstalk just yet.
Yeah. Yeah. Really good
Um,
feedback though.
I think another question here, Midnight Wolf, how do plugins work if someone wanted to try to make a custom one? Well, plugins are, you have to code them. So that's how that works. Of course, if you know how to do some software engineering, I highly suggest you try it. Also, use AI these days. Quite frankly, Claude Code, ChatGPT is very good at building, tools like this and building little plugins because they're very contained. They're very small. So it's quite good. In fact, I've also made my own plugins that way that I
I was
have
gonna
on.
say you've played around with that a little bit.
Yep,
Yeah.
that I have on the
Yeah.
marketplace. So that's one way that you can definitely do it. Or you can build, you can just build your own private plugins that you don't even list for someone. So
Yeah.
um,
And we did have a question earlier about when we were showing creating new pages and the fact that the next page, previous page buttons kind of auto populate. Somebody asked if you can remove those from the page itself and instead use the dial.
absolutely, yeah.
yeah.
So how would you navigate pages if you want to do that with a dial? So you can go ahead and you can just delete these navigation actions here. So I'll go ahead and do that. And then what you can do is we'll take a dial action here. And let's see, that is under, actually that's going to be action trigger here. So we'll take this guy here and move that onto one of the segments. And now we'll do next page is clockwise rotation, and previous page is counterclockwise rotation. And we could even do like go to page. We'll do like go to page 1 is dial press. So basically that always brings you home.
Yep.
Um,
Which
the other-
this is similar to how the default profile is set up.
Exactly. And now when I rotate, it's going to move to the next page. But you notice there's a problem, right? I rotated to the page and the dial action is gone. Well, what's really cool is if you want something to stay across all pages and folders, you can also right click and you can pin it. And now when I rotate, it's going to stay there across all those different pages. Like I don't have to set this up for every single
There
page.
you go. That's huge. That's one thing I actually didn't know about from my poking around. I thought you would have to create it on every page. That
No,
is-
so you can pin folders,
Yeah.
you can pin individual actions, you can pin the dial actions here. So yeah, everything, you can just pin these and then that way you don't have to set them up. Of course, if I'm on page 3 here and I want to go to page 1, now I can just press on the dial and it takes me back to page 1.
Yeah.
So that's one way that you can do, that you can move around, which is pretty cool.
And
So-
another way that having the dials helps kind of give even more utility from the main Stream Deck portion, because that is something that on the Stream Decks that don't have dials, each button is taken up by the next page and previous page. So one of the benefits of the Gallion alongside the Stream Deck Plus and that whole family is kind of having those dials to help with that.
Exactly. And I really can't stress enough that when you get your Gallion, because I know all of you watching have ordered one, right? That you head over to Marketplace and explore the plugins, because plugins is where you're going to get all the value. You know, Gallion is, you know, not a cheap keyboard at $350. So I really suggest take the time, go to Elgato Marketplace, look through the plugins here. Maybe you'll find one that you didn't even, you didn't know ahead of time that existed. There's so much here. Everything from smart home control with Philips Hue to controlling NVIDIA Shadow Play and do your recordings, to running a quick speed test. Of course, you can even do things like control TikTok Live if you're streaming there. If you have Govee lights, you can control those. There is so much on here, and it just takes a little bit of exploration to find those. Something that I like to do is just sort by recent, and then you can see all the more recent plugins that are coming in, see what's interesting there. I mentioned, like vibe coding earlier. You can also put on here things like checking your usage limits. So you can actually see if you're hitting your token limits or not. You can see there's meetings on here. Like if you have, you can get your Google Calendar hooked up and then show what your next meeting is, tap it, all of that stuff. So plugins are really, really powerful here.
Yes.
Another cool thing, and this is actually, this one's kind of neat, especially for those of you with many Corsair peripherals that are wireless. You can show the battery status of your wireless peripherals right on your device. So that could be your headset, your mouse.
That's huge.
You could just see, hey, am I, 50% battery, am I low battery, right? That sort of thing.
Yeah.
You can have that right on your keyboard and keep an eye on that. So plugins.
On the flip side, if you do get something like a Void V2 that has such amazing battery life, you don't even have to worry about it. You don't have to think about it.
Yeah. Does it work with Nanoleaf as well? We're going to answer this one last question, and then I think it's time to do our next giveaway and to also...
switch over to kind of the closing segment.
Let's see. Nanoleaf. I mean, I know the answer to this, but the answer is yes. So yeah, there are Nanoleaf plugins here specifically. There's a couple different ones. There's Nanoleaf Controller. There's one specifically for tiles here. So you can simply go in. It looks like this one doesn't have a picture, but we can also look at this Nanoleaf Tiles one. We'll take a look at that if it wants to. There we go. You can see here you've got your Nanoleaf controls, which is pretty cool. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that at this point, most of what you guys would want to do, there's going to be a plugin for. In fact, we're at the stage where with Stream Deck, the same way that there, it's kind of this like saying like, oh, there's an app for that. Well, with Stream Deck, there's a plugin for that.
There's a plugin for
there's
that.
a plugin for that. Something you want to do, there's a plugin for that.
Yep. Does it make pancakes? Ooh, we will take this last question to say,
well,
sadly.
Maybe not pancakes, but what someone on our team did is they hooked up their like coffee maker to it. And so they could press a key when they're sitting at their desk. Obviously, they had to pre-fill the coffee and everything, right? But they can sit at their desk. They're like, okay, I need some coffee. They press a key. The smart plug turns on. The coffee maker goes. And then, 5 minutes later, you come out and you have fresh coffee.
Amazing.
There are, brew button basically.
Yes.
Or if you live with a significant other, you could also have a button that like pings them like, hey, make me coffee. That's also sends them a Discord message.
Go old school with it. Yeah. That's great.
But yeah, so Gallion is super powerful. There's so many things you can do with it, not just in the game, but also outside of the game. And it really is up to you to take the time to also just figure out, what is it that you want to do with it? Are there plugins available, profiles, icons, and spending the time to kind of customize it? That'll get you the most value out of it there.
Absolutely.
But okay, what's the next giveaway?
Well, the next giveaway is the final Gallion 100 SD, but I believe we're doing that after Precia comes back, and we'll have a closing segment where we do that giveaway. And,
okay. All right, well, I'm going to rotate out then. So we'll have Precia come right on. So it was great to be here.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming, Phil.
Thank you for having me. And I'll see you guys. I'm sure I'll be on another live stream at some point.
We will get you back. Don't worry.
And for you, the one who's hovering over that buy button, just click it. Like, it's right there. Right? You just hover over it, you click it, there you go. You're good. Yeah. All right, have a good one, guys.
See you, Phil. All right. Well, Presha is working her way back to the desk here.
Wow. I'm
Welcome
short.
back.
Actually, before we keep going, I might need to adjust my chair. So give me
There's a
one
little
sec.
bit of a height discrepancy here. Yeah.
I don't know. Can we even show them our height?
Yeah. Oh, okay. We're being
Okay,
asked to
okay.
stand. Production is asking us to stand.
All right. So for reference, Hoffman is
I'm 6'8".
he's 6'8", so casual NBA player, and
Yeah.
I'm a little Christmas elf over here. I'm standing at 4'11". So let's see how it looks, when we're standing up. So, yep. I couldn't figure out how to raise my chair in time before our
Yeah.
giveaway, so apologies. Hoffman will be significantly taller. I don't know if
That's
you
all right.
guys
I'll
noticed.
just slouch down.
I don't know if you guys noticed, but when I was sitting in this chair, for all of you that have been with us since the start, I was actually sitting on a pillow. Yeah, the height difference does look a little bit AI generated. So I was actually sitting on a pillow, and I had my chair raised on the highest feature or the highest height.
Yeah.
And Hoffman was
Mine all the way
all the
down.
way down
Yep.
there. But anyways, enough about the height. So as you know, this is our very first live stream of this sort. Right. We haven't really
Yes.
done something like this
Yeah.
before. We've done the Prime Day sales. We always, as always, do our weekly community streams with Hoffman.
And Lucky.
Oh, production's telling me that you guys can't hear me too well. But I know that's what happens when we switch places. But yeah, Hoffman and Lucky, they do their weekly
Yeah.
live streams,
Stop
as
by
I
for
was saying.
the weekly co-captain live stream every
Yep.
Wednesday.
Don't
Be sure to
forget.
stop by.
And of course, as always, exclamation point socials. If you want to check us out beyond Twitch, we got Instagram, we got TikTok, we got
Yeah.
everything in there.
And if you want even more game time with us, we do weekly game nights
Yep.
in the Discord as well. So
Yep.
exclamation Discord for joining that. Get on
Yes.
in there.
Oh,
We're a
I
good
just
group
saw
of people.
Nightbot released it. So yeah, if you guys
Yeah.
enjoyed this one, please check out our other socials. We got amazing content coming out as always. But, don't want to talk too long because we have something very exciting.
final giveaway.
Final Galleon 100 SD giveaway. So yeah, after everyone learned all about the Galleon, this is your final time to get it for free. So on
Yes.
Corsair's dime, this Galleon is on us. But
This thing
as
is
a
heavy.
reminder,
I forgot how heavy this box
I
is.
know. I think it's because
a
there's that Stream
Beast
Deck
of a
on the
keyboard.
side
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
Wow.
But as always, I'm gonna go quickly and show. If we want to do it one more time, I will show off
show
our
on.
bundle deal for those of you that just joined recently. I know we showed this at the very start, but we do have a sale going on right now. So we have a Galleon 100 SD Stream Deck, this right here, and we have the Saber V2 Pro wireless magnesium alloy gaming mouse bundle. Wow, that is a long title.
That's a mouthful.
Yeah, but you know what isn't long? The wait. Because, right as you get this, it will be in your door. In fact, if you take a look at the website, if you order today right now, you can get the product, just in time for 4th of July presents.
4th of July present.
So I don't know if you guys want to, do a red and blue.
I mean, now here's an idea. You could use the Stream Deck to automate your firework display. You could integrate and,
you are
and
doing
have
that, yeah.
fire off all your fireworks.
Make sure
for
to
the
check
4th.
your county laws on that before doing all the
Oh
fireworks.
yeah, wherever that's legal. I guess it's not legal everywhere.
This is
It's
not
legal
us
where I
telling
come
you.
from. I don't know. Yeah.
This is not us telling you to get arrested on 4th of July. But yeah.
And there was a question. Giveaway is worldwide. Yes, worldwide to anywhere that we are able to ship to.
Yes, I know there are a few restrictions, so
Yeah.
be careful. But I think for the majority, giveaway is
Yep.
for everybody. All right.
All right. So,
So-
are we ready to roll that giveaway then?
Why
To
don't we
select it?
give them, let's give them 2 minutes.
Okay, couple minutes.
You guys drop your final questions.
Yeah. If you have any more questions for us, or like you were saying earlier, suggestions for future
Yes,
streams. If there are any
yes.
other products that we've maybe showcased a little bit, but you don't know everything
Yeah,
you want to
like-
know.
I know we touched
can-
on the Maker. We touched on the few
Yeah.
mice, especially, this one that's on sale, the Saber V2.
Yeah, Saber V2 Pro.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah.
All right, there's so much. We want to see production on screen.
Can we ban Prasia from the stream? No. Exclamation praise, Praisha. What are you doing?
Hoffman's too nice. Yeah, I've been a little annoying here and there.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, but what do you guys want to see next? Let us know. We'll be reading the chat as always. You know, even after the stream, this doesn't end here. We're always taking in suggestions, whether it's things you want to hear from us, more about the community that you want to learn, or just, you know, you got ideas for new products that we should be pushing out. Make sure to drop it in there.
Yes. Yeah. Always looking for feedback. And, you know, we hear from people about they want new colors, different like tweaks to the layouts and stuff like that. We love hearing that stuff. So please keep sending us that. It's always good, not only as an idea, but also just if we have had the idea, but we're not sure if people would like it. Like, you know, having that feedback is always helpful.
Yeah. And someone said, do Corsair employees get free merch or products? Can we answer this question?
Well, the answer, I guess, sometimes.
Sometimes, yes. I will say yes.
There's always something, but you don't. Yeah, it's not every product. No.
Yeah, no. I mean, I myself don't have the Galleon, so I mean.
Well, there's one.
Corporate,
right
if you
here.
see this,
maybe this one gets lost in the mail. No.
Maybe this one goes to me. No, I'm just kidding. This one's for you guys.
Yeah,
but
this is for our next lucky winner.
Yes. All right. Why don't we give them 30 more seconds and then let's start. Let's pick. Empty box prize. God, I wish.
No.
And in reality, it's me. The next stream you see, and it's me using the Galleon.
yes.
Nah, we wouldn't do that to y'all.
No, but you will have one because you will have clicked add to cart right here and received your Galleon in time for the 4th of July holiday.
And you know what? I wouldn't only have the Galleon. I would.
You would
I'm
also
definitely.
have the Saber
I'm definitely
V2
buying the
Pro
Saber V2.
magazine.
Yeah. And I think this is a good point because the Saber V2 is only $50 with the bundle, but if you buy it yourself, even with the $50 discount, it's still $100. So
true.
that bundle is, whew, I know I'm gonna get that when I go home. Like I'm doing that right after this.
Yeah.
All right, we ready for the final giveaway of the Galleon 100 SD?
Yeah, let's do
All
it.
right, let's do a 15-second countdown this
15
time.
seconds.
A little
All
bit
right.
longer. All
All
right,
right.
are you ready?
Yeah.
All right.
Roll.
15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And who is the lucky winner? Let's see.
Who is it going to be?
Oh, there's some delay. There's some delay.
Kilo India.
Kilo India Alpha. Are you in
Congrats.
chat? Oh, he is in chat.
Yeah.
Or
amazing.
they, or she. Yep. Okay.
They are here. Congratulations.
Perfect. So you have won the Galleon 100 SD. Thank you, everyone. Oh, production is telling us to show it more on camera.
Show it
Is this
off.
centered? Is this centered? Okay.
There we go.
So-
this will be on its way to you very soon.
I know we have talked your guys' head off about the Galleon, and I'm so glad that 2 of our lucky winners were able to win the Galleon themselves.
Yeah.
So when this arrives at your doorway, make sure to, join our Discord and tell us, hey, I won the Galleon from the product origin stream, and, share what macros you added. Maybe if you're like Hoffman and you added custom keycaps and, you swapped out the switches, let us know what you did. But I think that concludes the very, very end of our Galleon stream today.
Thank you all for joining us.
Yes, please
Thank
let us
you.
know.
Yeah, thank you to production here in the room.
Yes,
Let's get
shout
a praise
out
production
production.
in the chat. Shout out to Lucky helping behind the scenes in the chat.
Yes, sir.
And everybody else.
Yes.
It's been a lot of fun. Thanks to Phil for joining us,
Yep.
Julian for joining
Julian.
us, Tobias and Alex for the videos. And yeah.
Yep. All
been good.
right. So this is the end, but it's not the last time you'll be seeing us. As mentioned, Hoffman
That's a
does
threat.
weekly streams. Hoffman does weekly streams with Lucky every
every Wednesday.
Every Wednesday. So catch them there, and I don't know, you might just see me on another one. You might not.
I'm
Can't
sure we
spoil
will.
too much, but it was so great hanging out with you guys today, and everyone have a great rest of your day. See
Yeah.
you guys next time.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.
block,